Oh my god.
There it goes.
Okay, it's recording for real. I'm not gonna stop recording it. I can pause, right?
Yeah,
It's
okay.
recording. We're live at the best of our ability. Let's talk about power systems because why not?
I'm gonna use my shadow clone jutsu on all these to be the best.
Okay. Well,
That doesn't even make
hold on.
sense.
Wait.
Did you put Naruto?
no, of course I put down Naruto.
I can't read.
I can't see it.
What the fuck? No. You're telling me I put Ben 10 before Naruto?
What the fuck is Metroid?
Oh my god.
I don't remember most.
Anyways, we now have Naruto and Soul Eater into this tier list.
They've been here the whole time.
I haven't even explained what the fuck we're doing. Also, yeah, we're gonna be checking OBS all the time because it's been broken on my computer.
Yeah.
If you hear Bradley being echoey, don't mind. He's in another dimension. Actually, Bradley, do that again. Okay, his thing. Wonderful. The thing is. So Bradley got me into power systems by talking so much about the ones he likes, to where like now in a series I appreciate that more and more. So this one goes out to our resident ghost, Mr. Bradley.
Yay, let's go.
What's our inaugural conversation topic, Bradley? Oh wait, I will say we should rank these on
Consistency?
how good and consistent the system is, and how creative the powers in that system are.
I think also how clearly divided the system, if like the tiers are.
Okay, those seem like fair guidelines.
Because like I feel like there's a lot of creative systems here, but like we look at One Piece, it's very hard. There's like very like blurred lines of like what's actually more stronger than the other.
Y'all, all these systems are just made up.
We often shit around and talk around about things that are made up.
That's our whole shtick.
That's like 90% of what we do ever.
Yo, Kokoro's basketball.
Kokoro's my heart's basketball.
That's my go to sleep anime.
All right, Bradley. What are we starting with?
I think we have to start with like a true baseline.
Ooh,
Which
solid C tier.
A solid
me,
like a lower baseline or a mid baseline.
I mean, like a more like basic power system.
Okay.
Kind of.
I would volunteer like Dragon Ball Z.
I was gonna say Dragon Ball Z.
Of course.
Yeah, you know what? That's perfect.
Like showing
And solid F tier.
all manga started at Dragon Ball Z, so this is fitting.
Now, here's one thing you got to give it credit for. Holy shit, it's infectious. Every kid, even though this isn't like the most creative stuff, like anyone can think of shooting beams, but everyone when they see a Kamehameha, they want to do a fucking Kamehameha.
Yeah. Also, it was like the first of that kind. Like it that's the other thing too. Is like this is kind of like the grandfather of all the other for a lot of other power systems.
Let's list out some elements of this power system. You have ki. Then you have like Saiyan blood.
Yeah,
like
mythic powers.
The Zenkai, and then you have magic.
Yeah.
Which kind of clashes with the key stuff, and then you have like underworld mechanics
Science.
a little bit, and science is never like.
Well,
No,
the
science
whole
is good.
androids absorb the key.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
androids
wait.
have unlimited ki.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
But it's kind of cool because they can't generate it, so they absorb it from other things.
No, but Android. Wow, we've already started. Android 18 and 17 have unlimited power. What the fuck does that mean, though?
No, they just have infinite batteries.
What the fuck does that mean?
That means
How? Are they
like,
solar powered?
Like maybe, but they can't use strong stuff like Kamehamehas. They can just shoot little pew-pews.
Yeah, they
No,
shoot,
like that's their thing. Is like they do have like an infinite source, but their bottleneck is really small, so they'll never run out.
They're
But I think,
efficient.
like, Goku
Yeah.
has a stronger.
None of this is ever stated.
They're the Tesla of Android key users.
We're probably making shit up right now, honestly.
Yeah, the bottleneck thing seems like what I hear. in
Yeah,
One Piece
because
power
wait,
scaling.
Android 16 exists, and he just straight up nukes himself. And,
That's before
Yo.
they had the infinite power.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, like, old Android and Clown Android go and have to absorb people to get power.
Why did he step away from having infinite power?
What do you mean?
He
And 17
and 18 have infinite power, but then 19 and 20, he's like, no, we're gonna absorb.
Wait,
ki
I don't
instead."
think 19 and 20 are canon.
No, they're super canon. They're in the manga.
Which one's that?
The clown and Jiro.
Oh, Clown Jerome.
Oh, what is the pink one from Fighters?
That's a movie character.
Is that
That's a movie
21?
character.
pink one?
What?
Metroid 21's from the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah. No, I think what you could see is that like, all right, these things have infinite powers, but they can't like. No, that's not true either, because they end up blowing up cities in the future.
Yeah.
Anyways.
What's the consistency on this?
Anyways, but here's the thing: Key has no like mechanics to like. The only cool thing in all of the Dragon Ball power system is I think when a Saiyan almost dies, he gets stronger.
Yeah.
To me, that's like the one cool thing.
You get some power level stuff.
Because you know what? That's what kind of contributes to making the story what it is at some points, and that's an element of a good power system. I still don't think this is gonna go up into B. It might be like mid to high C for me because it is enjoyable.
Hold on, Dragon Ball is a good series. This is not a C tier.
So if we're talking about
Z
Z specifically.
Yeah, and Super, a Dragon Ball franchise.
Because I'm caught up on Super.
Yeah, tell us about superpowers.
The guy literally wished to be the strongest in the universe, and they're like, all right, you're 1 point stronger than the strongest guys now. And they're going to...
Gurren?
No, it's some new...
Gurren's
Oh, yeah. Also, there's other universes.
Gurren's a great boy. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the power system's pretty consistent because they have to nearly die all the time.
It gets consistency points, but it's not interesting.
Yeah. Also,
number go up.
Number go up.
Neuron activate. They're literally monkeys.
Good line.
I vote D.
I vote C.
I'd like to start it at C and see where we go.
Okay.
Bradley?
Oh, are y'all asking me?
Yeah. Where would you put it?
I was originally thinking C, like top of C maybe.
All right, y'all win. Wow, you guys are crazy. When we're gonna go past these, we're gonna be like, actually, everything.
Because like, here's the thing: as a series, I would put it way higher. As a power system, I'm like,
but we're just sticking primarily to the power system.
Let's do a Tyler pick. What do you want to talk about?
You know what? Let's do Shaolin Showdown.
Okay.
Shaolin Showdown is really good.
Bitch, let's go.
Well, Bradley, I think
here's
you
the thing,
should
right?
lead.
Yeah.
People, at least at the beginning of the show, there is some element, like there's some element of cheap like in season 1. It's like no one seems to inherently have crazy abilities. It's like you get them through the Shingon Wu, and I think that's kind of fucking cool.
Well, the power system that's cool in this is the Shingon Wu, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, dude.
I think it's also really cool they work on the rule of like you have to do the little crazy minigame Nickelodeon Guts thing.
But the Shingon Wu are straight up Mario Kart items.
Yeah.
Where some are obviously overpowered.
Yeah.
But they have very clear like this is very useful in combat, but this is very useful in like other things like. Is it Mantis flip coin? It's not gonna be powerful like from a combat potential, but like you have a lot of agility at that point. It's still useful.
And it's cool. Like I don't know if we want to get into like what these we should like what this power system means to combat is that sometimes you're doing Nickelodeon Guts, as opposed to killing a dude.
And and I think that also makes it interesting because the characters have to rethink how they're approaching different fights depending on what item they have and what item the opponent has. And what the challenge is. So I think it's actually like a really fun system. I really like Shaolin Showdown system. I think it's really
but Bradley,
fun.
you were saying season 1, but I think you were getting to like the inherent powers as well.
Yeah.
Well, there's some other shit that goes on with like more Star Warsy good and evil, light power, dark power shit. Yeah. But here's what I'm thinking. The coolest episodes that people usually talk about when this show comes up are the episodes that happen to involve like the cool synergies between some of these Shingon Wu, like reversing mirror plus the serpent's tail, which can make you intangible, right? Brings Wuya back to life. Or one of my favorite ones was like, there's an episode where Omi's like, oh, I'm just gonna like this. He's like, basically, there's the Fountain of Wi, which grants you infinite knowledge, but you can't interpret it. And then there's the Eagle Scope, which allows you to have like crystal clarity, and so he was like going to combine them to see if he could like pinpoint like, oh, can I figure out just how to eliminate all evil forever? And he tried that, but then someone else was using the reversing mirror outside, and it showed him actually how to eliminate all good forever. And I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Brilliant.
Yeah,
those synergies are cool.
No consistency.
Wait, no, and motherfucker, Mala Mala Zhang. He's the big golem that's made out of Shingon Wu, and he's cool.
I don't even remember watching that one.
Dude,
what I remember is because they're all artifacts with different weird powers. You get episodes like the Sapphire Dragon. That's like a small horror episode.
Yeah,
where like
the
it's
Sapphire
stalking
Dragon
everyone
is
and
so
freezing them.
I think people are gonna click off our video if we put it on the same tier as Dragon Ball Z.
Right,
though.
so Dragon Ball moves to D, and
No.
Shaolin Showdown moves to C.
No, Shaolin Showdown goes to B.
Well,
You know what?
You guys are fucking insane. Hold
No,
on.
not in B, not in B. I'd put it in C above
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, Joe, you pick.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god, we're gonna get so much hate.
Here, I'm gonna commit seppuku here. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose Star Wars. I'm gonna say D tier at the highest.
Okay, the Star Wars power system is midichlorian / fake.
Which is even used.
But I mean,
It's
part of
there.
it. It's
like
there.
there's definitely like a good side, bad side, and you have different things coming. Like there's a very distinct like good Force users do this, bad Force users do this.
There is a power system that the cooler and shinier your armor is, the better soldier aim you have.
It's true.
No, the
Yes.
cooler your armor is, the less effective you are in the film. Like Phasma and Boba Fett.
Okay, true. Also, so really no consistency at whatsoever.
Okay, so like light side power, there is a division.
There's
right,
a division,
between-
and they each do different things, which I think is cool. So, like, and they also have some overlap as well. And I'm thinking just primarily on like what I've seen from like non-games, because like to use game stuff in like a multimedia thing,
It's because the games are using it like they're
they're using game mechanics.
They're using it for gameplay.
So like from there, like, and even then, like, they're just very basic, like enhancing strength, or just jumping higher, jumping faster, like moving stuff around. And I think that's cool. And they're all like, it's all like emotion based. So depending on like where your state of mind is what you can draw from. But that being said, like, who the fuck knows what goes on? No one cares anymore.
Like, what does it lead to even cool? Like, I think of original trilogy fights, and they're not really cool. Like the technology fights are cooler.
Yeah.
Like the ship battles are cooler than actual Obi-Wan and Darth Vader moving in a circle.
I'm going off of just pure like Jedi Sith stuff,
Yeah,
not
okay.
technology stuff. That's what I'm using.
Well, because I wouldn't count the technology as a power system in that world, you know.
Yeah,
It's like it's a means to
I
combat.
mean, even like the power system in like Star Wars, it's very much supposed to be very vague and
it's
it's very just like kind of like here's more of the setting and like how everything happens.
Joe, we'll let you place it.
I would put it at D tier at the lowest.
That's
point.
a good baseline, and also people.
It's like I love Star Wars. I love reading stuff about Star Wars. It's just like as soon as people start complaining about or start comparing power systems or like Star Wars power scaling, it's like, y'all, who the fuck cares? Like none of this makes sense.
I want
It's
to talk
like Pokemon.
I want to talk about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Manga, anime, or video games?
Anything that
Nah,
would
you need a
fit-
baseline. You get to pick one.
I mean, not video games. I think the non-video game media
Okay.
power system.
F.
F?
F tier. Ash literally gets to the
Man.
championship, goes to a new region, and his Pikachu is like at level -5 again.
Yeah, there is zero level consistency in
He
the game.
literally gets a concussion every single season. Or every arc,
Yeah.
and then his Pikachu becomes like
Pikachu has
autistic.
learned-
All right,
Spark
I'll hold that against you later.
Pokemon has magic tears in it.
But like if you look at how the manga uses it, for example, it's like the power system is each Pokemon has a couple of functions, and you have to like swap them out and do cool stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah,
That's
that would be
neat.
neat if it wasn't the if it was.
If it was the popular one.
Yeah.
All right, F though D. It's like Star Wars tier.
I would say D at least because you have the type
Bottom
of
of
division,
D.
and there's still like some dynamics of like Pokemon flying, Pokemon digging, Pokemon in water, Pokemon in lava.
But as organic creatures, they never try to explain like how is Squirtle producing infinite water.
I'm saying, right?
He just pisses from his mouth.
If they could hand wave it by say Pokemon create matter through their weird energy, but they don't even try. They're just
But like,
Yeah, what about
It's been
Slugma being
25
hotter
years
than
and
the
they haven't
sun?
even-
hold on,
tried.
Brad. What are you saying, Bradley?
It's been 25 years and they haven't even given like a half-ass maybe we'll try to explain it.
Yeah,
And then Pokeballs are also equally fucked, where like Pokemon Arceus like retconned what a Pokeball even does or is.
what
so-
they retcon it
you're
to.
you're just convincing me more that this goes in F.
I'm convincing myself. In Arceus, it's like the Pokeball draws out the Pokemon's innate features to change their size. It's like, what? It's been a plot point that to get bigger, they need a special energy even, like... And what about the move Minimize? Like, can every Pokemon use Minimize? I don't know.
This is stands in the ears kind of shit.
Okay. Low D. There's worse things than Pokemon.
Yeah, are there?
Oh, yeah.
It still leads to cool stuff. Whatever. Here's the thing. It gets saved by leading to cool stuff.
Does it?
Come on.
It is interesting. They are interesting to watch. That's like... I think the point up there.
I don't know. How many times do you want to see Pip-Plup use water gun to defeat Meowth?
I will if it breaks a rock.
But when they get to the final battles of the season and like they're doing
which
cool strats,
are like what 8 episodes out of the 100
the gym
for the
battles
season?
also have strategy, so like you have to dig sometimes. To
If
go
only they
below
actually took like an actual firm plot instead of just 95% filler stuff.
Bradley, what do you think? Where should it go?
For Pokemon, I'm thinking low D.
Okay.
Let's do low D.
Low D, low D.
Yeah, okay. All right, back to you, Bradley.
Man, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Ben 10.
Yeah, I knew you would. How did I know you would pick Ben 10? All right,
How did you know?
The power system of Ben 10 is biology, just alien biology.
Yeah.
He has to learn.
Also,
He can't Google how to use his Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, the technology makes it so he can't pick his
But
power.
also, Bradley, doesn't his friend end up becoming a rock energy boy?
He does. He absorbs stuff. That's Kevin 11.
Oh,
yeah, Kevin 11.
I hear that even stuff like
also
Gwen got retconned to not be
Gwen
magic.
does magic.
No, but it got retconned to be aliens that got then retconned to be an alien magic.
Nah, no way.
That's true.
Bradley,
That's the thing. There's
us?
like as many Ben 10 series as there are Pokemon gens.
Yeah, dude, there is like Ben 10 Alien Force.
Let's not
and
spend
everything.
too much time on Ben 10. It's like a high D. It's cool because like it's a cool ghost. It's alien biology that's controlled through a watch.
I do like that.
Yeah,
they
and you
kind
know
of
what? I had an Omnitrix in 6th grade.
Yeah, did you try to Kamehameha with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know what Gwen's first power was? Her first power was luck.
So she had comic book Black Widow magic.
No, they just gave her protagonist power.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler.
No, you I don't know. Ben 10 went down a dark path.
Yo,
Apparently she went from like teenage 13-year-old to like they all became like college age.
Yeah.
Like
No, they were 16. They were 16 in that second series. So you watch your
but
mouth.
then she turns into like a plasma goddess. Like an alien, and then she turns into I don't know what the fuck.
And then she becomes a chibi.
What?
Yeah, and then they turned her into the new.
Oh my! What is this art style?
She's a nerd.
What?
Yeah,
Bradley.
she turned into a nerd.
Bradley, who? Do you know
What is
series?
this?
Do you know what series this middle one's from?
Fuck no.
What the fuck is that?
That's made
like
up.
it.
That's gotta
I'm
be fan
not.
art. There's no
I'm
way.
just confused because I thought I knew the Ben 10s.
No, never.
Why would I think that? I don't know.
What? I can't believe Ben 10 keeps doing shit.
I think that's
I
Ben
know.
10 Omniverse.
I can't believe there's a tier list where Ben 10's gonna be above Star Wars for. Just show this, no context to people.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, don't even show the title of
And
the
Shaolin
series.
Showdown's above both. All right, go Tyler.
Oh, is it my
Oh
turn?
my god. Just make that the thumbnail.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Zoom
zoom
in on
zoom into these 3 squares and
Yeah,
don't
and then
explain
people will
anything.
lose their freaking mind.
All right, now I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Kuroko's basketball.
Okay. If you're like, why is there a sports anime here? This is a battle shonen with
is.
actual powers. And I like them. It's basically like every character is just a god at an aspect of basketball.
3-pointers.
Yeah.
Slam dunk. Clutch moments.
I don't know. There's a one kid who's I like the like bad guy team that has really good in zone pressure,
That's interesting.
and also they're really good at like hitting the other team without being seen, which is actually like I played middle school and high school basketball, and that's literally the most fucked up shit is when refs aren't calling anything. Like fuck that shit.
And also, like, every sports series has to have the team that knows how to cheat. It's like, it's a staple.
Always.
Honestly, this is the best power system in the list right now.
What about the Emperor Eye?
The zone.
The zone is
the zone is cool.
What
but
about the zone beyond the zone?
So there's something called the zone in this, where like you're in the zone. But then if you're like so in the zone, you bring other people into your own zone, and everyone plays good, and you're all synchronized.
I don't know, man. That is kind of
cool
a thing.
when their eyes were lightning and shit.
That is kind of a thing. If like you're on fire and you're doing so well that it brings back your team, I don't know. Comeback mechanics exist.
Kuroko's power is to be unnoticed, but then he flips it. He's like, now I'm the only thing you can notice.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Wait, come on. This is a B tier for Kuroko.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'll say.
That's a great final power.
Because they have to do a lot of training.
He learns how to shoot shots.
Yeah.
It's insane.
They do a lot of training, and they do like a lot of building onto their foundations. That what like their innate physical attributes that make them good athletes is what they train at. To make.
I've watched the show. I just pass out every time I watch more than 3 episodes.
I still, like, one of my favorites is just still, like, an early one where the dude just can't miss a three-pointers and he feels lucky that day.
He never... his only upgrade is he gets more range.
Which he ends the game by doing a full-court shot, so I guess he does it from the parking lot.
If you don't have to even try, do you even bother? Like, it's like...
Anyways, Kuroko's basket. There we go. Better than Ben 10. Who would have thought? All right, Joe.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't like this. Let's do Ace Attorney.
All right. Ace Attorney has power. It has genuine...
It does.
It has a couple of them.
When we were discussing this, I jokingly was going to put in originally, like, we should do Ace Attorney. And
but here, the major one that's used in most of the games, as in, like, the most number of games, is spirit channeling.
Yeah.
There's some others, like using your good hearing plus science to discern a person's mood.
Seeing
and how
twitches
you can do
of
therapy.
lies.
Seeing people's, like, tells through, like, supervision. That's a fun one. And then,
there's the locks.
yeah, you can see people's lies. I don't like psyche locks.
I don't like
actually.
psyche locks either.
That brings this down. But I do like spirit medium.
I do like Spirit Medium. I like the twitching tells. I really
Mood
like
Matrix
the
is okay.
I love the Mood Matrix.
I love the divine seances.
That one's great.
That's like another way to do spirit medium, where like you see a person's last moments before death, and then you get to solve the crime through that. Bradley's over here like, I had no idea any of this shit happened in Ace Attorney, because he played that tutorial case where none of that is introduced.
None of it happens.
I'm trying to think. The Great Ace Attorney has nothing. Like,
It's very
racism.
It has racism. Strong power.
Yo. And then the Edgeworth games have the power of, and bear with me here, logic.
You gotta put the screw in the nut.
All to say that this is a...
C tier?
Here's the thing. The way spirit mediums are used in the final case of Spirit of Justice is actually brilliant.
Yeah.
Joe will one day get there. So I'm gonna.
I found my 3DS. I just gotta charge it now.
I'll put it below Shaolin Showdown.
Yeah. I think also just becomes a creative way to, like, actually solve the problems within the story that's being told.
But also, like, it brings in, like, questions like just spirit channel everyone. They do try to address that, but, like, it doesn't...
Well, you have to, like, link up with the person. The person's be willing. Also, Psylocks are dumb. People I read online and people really like them. Like, why? It's just a...
Psylocks are cool as a gameplay mechanic, but if you think about them too hard...
Oh, I think it's both ways. Like, it's just...
It's just dumb for everything.
It is, because you're just doing the same thing. You're just presenting evidence, just, like, with a black screen with locks on them.
I'm going to talk about Toriko real quick, because
everybody buy Toriko.
Everybody buy Toriko.
Everybody buy Toriko.
Toriko's power system...
It's food.
Is weird. Okay.
Okay.
I haven't read it in a while. The way it goes is, people have gourmet cells in their body. By eating very good foods, you can feed those cells and unlock more of natural attributes. So, like, there's the 4 main combatants in the good guy side are called the 4 Heavenly Kings. And you have Toriko, who does, like... What the fuck are Toriko's? Toriko just is athletic and can do, like, nail punch, where he punches you and then you get, like, punched 20 times consecutively. Or he can do something called fork and knife, where he just, like, scoops at you.
This is after he eats good food?
The more he eats good food, the better, like, these abilities get. He gets, like, Toriko's power scale is very high. They can beat, like, all the Naruto and One Piece characters, no problem. However, the more cool ones are the other ones. You have Coco, who can secrete a poison because he eats so many poisonous foods. And I think he eventually makes like a poison stand. It's wild. You have Sunny, who can control his hair. I don't understand how it's just good body control, I guess, from eating well. And you have Zebra, Zebra can yell loud and control his voice in interesting ways. So I think it's better than Dragon Ball, but that's a hot take. I think it leads to cooler fights.
This is the first I've heard of it, and I would put it right above Dragon Ball Z too. Yeah. I think it's cool that like it seems like the setting, like everything else in the setting, was probably born of the fact that eating good food makes you stronger. So like it makes sense that like you're gonna have these powerful people looking for bigger, better foods and shit.
Toriko has a little boyfriend who's like his cook who can prepare the meal efficiently, so Toriko gets the most power from it. There's a cool mechanic actually that I didn't mention. Everyone has what's called the full menu. The full menu is a full course meal that you try to slot in each meal point throughout your life, and it's like a defining moment where it's like, this is it. This is my dessert. And when you find one of the full course menus, the manga goes crazy. It shows like a chart of Toriko's full course menu and what's there and what's missing. And then like multiple panels of like one of the chart slots being filled in. And it's cooler than I'm explaining. It's actually kind of hype.
That sounds neat.
And then there's legendary dishes and like what they're called, like Earth and Beyond and Center, and the ultimate one's called God. So the story tries to get to a point where they're trying to cook God. And that's where we go.
That sounds like the GDD of a video game that never got made.
It's really good. It's way better than it seems up until about 85%, and then it's really bad the last 15%.
Damn, who knew junk food could kill you?
Yeah. Okay, back to Bradley.
So I want to talk about Bioshock.
Yeah, that's
Bioshock. Which Bioshock are we talking about? A or C?
I was
Air C
I think the C one mostly.
Well, it would shock you probably because they're the same, but
yeah. You know what? At the end of the day, I was sitting here trying to figure out where I want to place it because at the end of the day, a lot of the ability effects are just like, okay, fucking fireball, okay, fucking shoot bees out of your hand, or fucking freeze people. And I'm like, that's cool. Cooler than even probably some of the ones on this list. But
you can make bees.
I was like, what is it really doing here? And I think one thing I like about Bioshock is for a lot of power systems, you have a setting that can only exist because of that power system. Like, so much of Dragon Ball Z is made possible because of its power system. You have these super powerful people. So much of Shaolin Showdown is made possible because of its power system. You have the Shingon Wu. Bioshock, I think, is the opposite. It's a power system made possible by its setting. It's presented as like a natural consequence of letting people in this underwater society do whatever they want, including like doing bad experiments with the human body.
It's also like because I don't know if either of y'all have played Bioshock as well, but like basically whenever you use a plasmid, which gives you the powers, it alters your body genetically, and if you take too many, it like mutates you and turns you to like a freak and everything.
That's why I was like, I don't know much about Bioshock, but I knew about plasmids. I was like, that's probably something.
But isn't it if you kill little girls, you can absorb more plasmids?
Yeah. So the way that works,
cool system.
Yeah, the way that works is basically, in the lore of the game, there is a slug at the bottom of the sea that can like devour things and basically make super stem cells, which they can use to make these plasmids.
The gourmet cells.
Yeah,
yes.
Basically. So, but they realized that slugs make them really, really slow, but they figured out how to transfer that ability into humans, and when they do it, it like perpetuates that person. They're stuck in like that size like forever until they're cured. If I'm remembering that correctly. And so they take little girls because no one's going to harm them because they're very innocent looking, and they put them inside them, and then they teach them.
No one's ever going to harm them.
Yeah, and then they have them go. They have them go around and collect the residue plasmid DNA from dead corpses in the city.
But they attack you like they're creepy, right?
No.
The big daddies.
The big daddies do. They do not attack you unless you attack them.
Okay.
So it's very much like.
So you do kill the little girls? Yes.
No, you have two options.
You can let them go.
You can cure them, and you remove the slug from their body, and so you get only the slug's power, or you kill them and you absorb the entirety of the little girl's slugs.
This seems cool.
Why do you think it's my favorite video game?
Bioshock
In my opinion, it's higher
I'm
than
playing
anything
this
on
October.
this list so
Yeah.
far.
What'd you say, Bradley?
In my opinion, it would be the highest thing on this list so far.
Yeah.
Like B high or A high?
I would put in. I feel like what's really cool.
And like for video games to get a power system that's interesting is not easy, which is why there's not a lot of them.
Yeah. And like and the other thing is like as you're playing, you do feel stronger as you're like going through the game, and like it kind of reflects of like because internally as a player you're thinking to yourself like it's like God, I mean killing these little girls is like a moral thing, but you know what?
It can't be a lot fucking easier if I just killed them.
Just kill the little girls.
and just leveled up more.
Just all right. You heard it here first, folks. Joe's got issues.
Like it's but I've
A
never
tier?
yeah I would say A tier.
All right.
But like it's just a really cool setting because it blends in the morals of you as a player with the decision making you have in the game. So I think it creates an interesting dynamic of what you're willing to like sacrifice yourself morally, and it plays into the theme of the game as well.
Cool. Let's keep it moving. Tyler, go.
Let's do Harry Potter.
Well,
F tier. All right, let's move on.
come on.
Y'all,
we have to
I
talk
think-
about Harry Potter every video.
I think realistically, we kind of do talk about this all the time, don't we?
It's become a thing in 2022.
The Harry Potter year.
I think
Bradley,
it's
do you want to
F tier, dude. I'm
defend?
sorry, I don't like it.
No, he says it's good.
Yeah, it is good. And you know what? Go check our this is our plug. Go check the podcast Why Harry Potter.
And I
is an
think
awful power
also
system.
like you can have a good story, but also have a nebulous power system.
But, you know, the world is so whimsical. Hold up.
But we're looking at a power system, not the world.
Yeah, the
power-
world is
but
whimsical.
The reason why power systems are interesting, and Bradley taught me this lesson, is what they do for the story.
This is literally
They're bad in combat, but they're cool in the whimsy of the world.
They are, but like there's the most you can say that Harry Potter has is that to cast a spell you need a wand, and you need to know the words, and you need to know how to properly like move
they
your wand.
teach teenagers how to use gun before anything.
They're in America.
No, they're not. They're in Britain.
Oh shit! I knew that. I'm not that dumb.
So it's and like okay, so you do have some requirements to cast a spell, but like that's really it. There's no indication of like casting this spell does something to you other than Avada Kedavra, which splits your soul apparently, and even then that's kind of like ambiguous of like does that actually happen?
It services the story though.
There's no drawbacks to using any of the magic in the
Yeah.
I'll
entire
say every spell is 0 mana, 0 cooldown.
Yeah.
But the newspapers talk to you.
They should have got like a guy who does like auctioneering, and they give him a really big like log, and then he just goes out and yells things and just blasts everybody.
You know what should be on here that's not is like D&D, because I actually really like D&D's weird power system because you have to collect certain ingredients and
bad.
cast them
Our-
in the middle of combat.
If y'all want to keep it an F, I do think it services the story, but also like in combat, it is just piss poor.
I mean, it services the story, the simple fact that there's a magic spell to get over this situation.
So it services it
Dude.
poorly.
Yeah.
Alright.
This tier list looks hilarious.
Bradley, I need you to take
fucking
constant
dying.
screenshots of progress and just like post them with no content.
You should post them onto our Discord and have people just react.
Okay. Anyways,
Oh my god.
I'm glad you're having fun, Joe.
Oh, it's my turn.
Oh yeah, just,
Oh shit.
You're doing that. You do that on purpose, right?
What?
You go, oh, it's you were like so dramatic.
It depends. It's like 75-25%. Anyways,
Oh.
let's do Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
I told you the story about me and Metal Gear Solid.
I don't know anything about this one.
Metal Gear Solid's power system is nanomachines and fucked up soldiering.
And weapons to surpass Metal Gear.
Yes. So like there is the technology, which I will count here because it's like going sci-fi and like people have technology that's
advancement to it.
an advancement of the technology.
Like Raiden because of Cyborg.
Yeah, I don't want to get into Raiden because that's actually I don't like the narrative steps that Revengeance takes, even though everyone loves that game because it's hype and you beat up the senator in a very cool fight. But like it's way over. Like
Yeah.
it shits on everything Snake could do if Raiden could just take down
Fair.
a Metal Gear Ray in the opening tutorial mission of a game.
Yeah.
But if we go to the original Metal Gear games, they're nonsense. It's like in one game, it's also parasites. It's like vocal parasites give you psychic and fire powers, whatever.
You're not allowed to say a certain word.
That's kind of neat.
Which I'm using for my D&D campaign right now.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But if you get to like the good Metal Gears, which would be 1 through 4, it's basically enhanced people, and some of the powers are such as like, there's a woman who can't be hit by bullets. Her name is Fortune. She would love to die. She can't. She's got the Kaido thing going on. Mm-hmm. The reason is, oh my god, it doesn't make sense. The Illuminati's keeping her alive through nanomachines against her will. How that deflects a bullet or makes a grenade not explode is kind of beyond me. There's a guy who through genetic therapy can commune with the dead and make you face every person you've ever killed. There's straight up a psychic who can read your PS1 save files and make fun of you. There's a guy who's fat and he rollerblades and that's his power.
There's all the girls from like Metal Gear Solid 4 that they're in the suits.
They're in cool mech suits.
Yeah.
All that to say, it's like I put it in here because the narrative really cares about how things are happening, even if it's nonsense.
But it is bullshit.
Like, it is bullshit, but it takes that bullshit like the characters take the bullshit that's happening to them very seriously. They're gonna explain it.
But it's so hard to comprehend. Like, why is this thing stronger? Or why can this thing work the way?
Or
it
why
works?
can these people in the '60s use like?
Yeah. So it's like it's hard to draw lines, and it's hard to establish like what is strong and why is it strong, and like how do you use that properly.
Okay, that's good. But I would put it in low B.
I would put it in C because I do think there's some interesting stuff there.
I would say it's the coolest thing in C.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the characters take it really seriously.
They
even
do.
If it's nonsense.
They do. Oh, and there's also Fox Die.
Fox Die. Yeah, there's
Fox Alive.
Oh, Fox Alive. We're not.
I've told you the story of me playing the Metal Gear Solid series, right?
It's fantastic. Let's do.
Is it?
Who knows most about Bleach? Tyler?
Me?
I've never watched an episode of Bleach.
I probably do
because I've read Bleach for as much as I could.
The only thing I know about Bleach is I've been told it's a terrible show.
Yeah.
I think I cannot remember the names of the different like techniques and like leveling up systems.
So Bleach, what are some of its power systems? So
Got
your
Bankai.
swords have 2 forms.
Yeah.
And you leveled them up.
Yeah.
But Ichigo's sword has a third base
form.
form because it wasn't made up in the story yet that there was 2 forms.
Yeah. You yourself have your own forms, and if you could be a hollow and a half hollow kind of
There's hollows and there's Quincy's. Quincy's take energy from the world around them, and because they live in a world of the dead, everything is energy.
Yeah.
So they kind of like break apart the world.
But they're not like connected to death like the
a Rancor? No.
What the Soul Reapers are called or whatever they are.
Yeah, I don't know much past Soul Society. There's Fullbringers where there's literally a page where Ichigo does an attack called Swatsuka Break. And you're like, okay, Japan.
Well,
cool.
I mean, it's a swastika break, so you know he's killing the swastika.
But he's killing with the swastika. If Quentin Tarantino did it, it would be cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then there's stuff like, there's like a spell system where there's like 100 spells they can use, like Raikiri number 5, Wind Blast.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on.
There's stuff going on, but I don't think it's the thing is that it has the problem of like. Where at least with Dragon Ball, with the Super Saiyan stuff, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, like it has some linearity to it, and it's not like already established in the world. Those characters are literally developing those things and creating.
This is way better than Dragon Ball. The Shikai
from a structure point is what I'm talking about.
Bankai is an inherently good system. It's actually brilliant.
No, I do.
You introduce a character with a cool sword that has a base power, and you always have that Chekhov's gun of which arc are they going to Bankai, and what is that going to be. I think that's inherently super cool.
Oh, I think so,
The problem with Bleach, from what I understand, is that Ichigo is half everything, so he can do every power system. Mm-hmm. But the power system itself seems like a particularly cool one to me.
But that's the problem I have with power system, is that its progression just feels like we have to do the next thing. It doesn't feel like it's an
They also throw it away after an arc and do another one that I briefly know about.
I should reread Bleach. That sounds like fun.
It goes fast. There's no dialogue.
It's true.
It's all cool art.
It's all white backgrounds.
Yeah. Oh god. Weirdly enough, not knowing anything about Bleach, it seems like a B tier power system to me.
I would say C tier. There's gonna be a lot more C tiers than you think there are.
I think you guys are being harsh.
High B?
This tier list is ridiculous.
That's great.
Y'all are terrible humans.
Who I did Bleach? All right, Bradley.
Oh, we're going. Okay.
It's me now?
Yeah.
Since we just recently did Harry Potter, I want to talk about Mother of Learning.
Oh,
since
dude.
It's probably the most adjacent thing.
Finally, some good food.
The way I described this earlier today is just kind of... It's Harry Potter, but just kind of a little bit better in most ways.
You think a little bit? I think quite a bit.
I think the most notable thing to me is that one thing it's similar to in Harry Potter is that at the end of the day, like, there's nothing crazy out there it's doing. Like, it's just magic. You know, there's a lot more kind of cool rules and systems they do with it, but down at the bottom of it, it's just a magic. But I think what Mother of Learning does in the magical boarding school adventure genre that Harry Potter does not do is it at least adds enough depth to justify there being a school system teaching it. Because when the Mother of Learning teachers start talking about their subject, I'm like, they can fucking go. So I'm like, okay, like there's kind of something there.
They can
Harry Potter
for a hot minute.
This is the Groundhog's Day story.
In Harry
Yes.
Potter, I'm like, do you really need an hour-long lecture to teach people how to swish and flick and say a word?
Yes. In Mother of Learning, you do. I think what Mother of Learning does is like mana shaping and like the progression of spells. It just feels right. It feels like a logical magic system, which is hard to say.
Yeah, and I like how there's even like entirely different approaches you can take within the system. I think the first example is like the structured versus unstructured magic.
Yeah.
Where it's like structured magic is like, I don't know, you can kind of limit the way your mana moves around to make spells easier to cast, but then it kind of limits the total of what you'll eventually be able to do. But then, like, in theory, with unstructured magic, you could do literally anything, but it just requires so much like mental overhead and practice that they're like,
and
people don't do that.
The time loop element also is part of the system because it goes into soul magic stuff, which I don't fully know because I've only read the first 26 chapters, which we'll talk about at a later date. But
oh yeah, there's some weird stuff there where, like, for example, they're like cut off from the branch of magic that summons angels and demons. Like, they just can't do that.
Where would you put it, Bradley? No, you know the best about it.
So for me, I know it's at least, I might put it below Bioshock, but I haven't experienced the three things below Bioshock, so I don't know if it's better than them.
Would you say it could be top of B, but you know, it's solid. Like, I have no qualms with it. It's solid.
I could settle for bottom of A or very top of B. You know what? Bottom of A. I want to be greedy. Let's do it. Let's be greedy.
You use your one greed coin.
No, he has.
That's my greed point.
He's the power system guy. He has the most greed coins of all. All right,
I'm
Tyler.
the guy.
Yo,
Look alive.
I want to talk about Attack on Titan and its barely existent power system.
Really? Because this is
All
the best thing in the list.
Probably, yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Damn, really?
It's super well defined.
Cool. So
it fits narratively super well. It leads to cool combat.
Yeah.
Like, what more do you want?
I don't know. Everything seems like. Now I haven't finished it yet because I'm an anime only boy. I'm not a savage like some other people here.
I think the final fight of Attack on Titan is really cool.
Like, the fights are really cool and everybody's just a Titan, and like even the good Titans can still get eaten by the baby Titans. You know?
That's cool.
That is cool.
But
and there's consequences for that happening. Like.
Yeah,
like what happened with Marcel. Like,
or what's her name?
They lost one of their main weapons because a rando ass Titan ate Marcel. And now Ymir, the cool one, has the power. What's cool about Attack on Titan is it embodies like a dog-eat-dog world in the power system.
It also
where,
has very simple rules of how it operates too.
Yeah,
it's
you eat one of the 9 powers, you get that power,
and you become conscious again.
Yeah,
I guess. I think what's just bothering me is the latest arc about the founding Titan.
then there's paths, but
Yeah, the paths doesn't like.
paths was foreshadowed.
I'm not-
It is wacky.
It is wacky.
It's there's time travel,
Yes.
and whenever you introduce time travel, nothing makes
and
sense
you know
anymore.
it's worse than you think.
Yeah.
I heard the anime did that scene already. which-
Time travel is an instant out to anything, no matter how
Once
strong it
again,
is.
it's so limited in this, though.
Yeah, the problem with the time travel in this is that even with that, you can only connect to things that are directly connected to.
I'm
that
doing
Titan.
my best Wano face.
Yeah, you can only go to things that are directly connected to that back to that Titan.
Okay, I could give you, but paths has another cool element where like this connection of everyone in our race that we can access is kind of cool.
It also symbolizes we're all human beings and we all just
Yeah,
need to
he gets the
stick
all
together.
chat feature once he gets the founding Titan.
Yeah, he does.
Which that in itself I think is a cool power.
I can't have it be S
baseball?
because of the paths.
Okay, the baseball.
It's so good.
There's so much shit
just-
where it's just we've watched this anime probably a good 4 or 5 times in both English and Japanese and rewatches. And there's still some stuff where it's like, despite all the good foreshadowing and future proofing that the author has done, touching hands reveals the past, present, and future.
No,
They
but
explain that.
that is established so much as like a huge plot point.
They do.
And then once it happens, it becomes a huge plot point for the rest of the series too.
It's the thing about Attack on Titan and why it works is because that it has rules, it defines them, and it sticks to
And the
them.
plot revolves around making those rules. Like, we need to abuse these rules. Like, the 13-year thing is so cool. That adds a time limit to the,
I guess they haven't made up anything else that's really outlandish except for all chat.
And I mean, come on. The Armor Titan is so cool.
All chat is probably the
The
most
Colossal
ridiculous thing.
Titan is so cool. Come on, bring it in.
Okay, here's what I need to ask.
Yeah.
Once the founding Titan has been absorbed or whatever, it does seem like he can just kind of do whatever.
Yeah. You can control the body of Eldians.
Yeah. The Titans.
Yeah.
Like, the genetics of Eldians is what that power can control. Anyways.
Okay.
Hey, it's fair.
And that,
you know
that's,
why?
that's like season 2's power reveal.
Yeah,
revelation
but
too.
I'll back it up that while the power system's super good, the powers are just this guy's a monkey.
Yeah,
And this guy has a strong jaw. It's very biological, and it doesn't.
But I
But
really
then you
like-
have the Warhammer Titan, which
Yeah.
is kind of world breaking.
Who has to get into their little video game cabinet and play it that way.
And I do like how all the power is mostly biological, and then
is cool,
it ties into the world of them being outclassed and shit.
Now the source of the power is you don't have to explain the exact source of every power.
I don't want to
though.
know that yet.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah, no,
there.
that's fine.
All right, we need to speed up. What's next?
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
That was Tyler.
Oh,
so
God.
it's
Tyler, that's you?
me. Ooh. Let's do.
We saved all the good ones for when we're speeding up.
Yeah.
I know,
let's
damn.
Let's do Soul Ear.
I don't know super much,
Yo,
but you know
bitch,
what's cool
let's
about
go.
your weapon being
It's
a
one of 2 pictures.
That's what's throwing me off. That's what's throwing me off.
I thought the weapon people
I
was really fucking
like
cool.
Soul Eater's world. I really like the power system. The idea of
Yeah.
to unlock the most of your weapon, you have to gather 99 criminal souls and get a witch's soul. And I've also read I want to say 60 to 70% of the manga. So it involves even more onto that, the consequences of eating good souls and what that does to a person and all this other and eating your weapon soul and what does that do to you and things like that.
That's cool.
I think it's really, really cool. I like that the weapon and you get this dynamic of the weapons are people too, so you have this back and forth between the user and the weapon itself. And so you have a dual growth between both of them really. I wish I finished the series. I used to like follow it like weekly.
Tyler, Bradley.
Man, it's just a joy to experience. Like, it's just fun to watch and fun to think about. I could put it like, like for me, I'd probably put it in mid to high B at least.
That's what I was gonna say. Also, Death the Kid is I love his lines, and he's got 2 cowboy chicks as like his weapons. Like
He's so cool.
Yeah.
I would put it in low A. They do a very good, and probably the one to follow this is probably Naruto, because they're so similar in their types of like power systems a little bit. I mean, it's not like you have to consume weapons and stuff, but like I feel like the pace of power is
Type in
similar.
Black Clover.
Oh shit.
No, Black Clover actually needs to be on here. Go on.
This is gonna be my next project.
I guess not really. That was kind of stupid comparison for me to make. But I really like Soul Eater system. I like the fact that there's students and teachers and adults, and it goes into each like age's power level.
I
And
like
how
ages too. Like they're their own separate thing, and like it becomes a moral. It becomes a moral conundrum when they realize, oh shit.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, it becomes a moral conundrum because they're like, is it really right for us to hunt down these people and eat them for their like, so we can get more powerful? Because I ended up meeting a witch at the very beginning of the series that's like really just not that bad of a person. So I think
Hold the control key.
hold the control key. So I think it's just, I really like it, and I think you get a lot of dynamics and you get a lot of differences in the powers.
we run such an official podcast, just updating our tier list on the fly.
Dude, everyone knows we're fucking scumbags.
I'd
We're
put
smarter than harder.
Soul Eater high B or low A, to be honest.
I'd put it in B. I would put it solidly. I think there's some problems with it still. It can still be a little bit ambiguous in some places. It can be really.
Bradley
like,
seemed to vote for B too.
yeah, I can definitely put it in high B because
High
like
B.
they're very fun fights, and they're very much, and they make a point of saying like this person that hasn't upgraded their weapon yet, so they don't have access to the full breadth of their powers, and that's what's holding them back. And
Yeah, but what about Black Star?
I just like the fact that the weapons are people. Y'all could have just stopped there and I would have allowed it be.
dude, and they're sexy people too.
Yeah, alright. I'm going to do Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer power system from someone who's only watched season 1 of the anime is
because I haven't. No.
you breathe a certain way and do cool sword techniques. Yes? Is there more?
There's like a.
And then Nezuko is a monster.
It's got some like
Sword techniques are more of the thing.
sword techniques are all actually derived from the main thing that kills demons.
Which is the sun.
Yeah, so it's all like all of the branching powers are split off from aspects of the sun. So like
And
there's
light,
like the 10 base elements. So like if you're a
Is Earth like part of the sun?
like all of
Because the sun gives life, and so it provides growth.
Is water part of this? I guess
Yes.
it evaporates
Yeah,
water. I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, so like
Part of the cycle.
if you do,
Hey, I hate these ads.
it gets wonky where like their reason for explaining how the elements combine and work together is a little weird. But it tries to make sense of it all, but it is all just like breathing.
Yeah.
And they all have sword forms, and they have to like learn new sword forms too.
I
to
do like how the
new
techniques keep coming out. Like even in season 1, every time Tanjiro reused a technique or showed a new water technique, I
That
was
is
like,
that is one thing I like, is that each form has 10 techniques, and like very rarely do you see one go past 10, and when it is that person invented that new technique.
Yeah, if people start inventing new techniques, they're ridiculous.
Yeah,
Which is kinda
it's
cool.
it's like you've somehow tapped into another form of this power that
This
we
seems
haven't.
like a good high C.
I think so too. The demons themselves are just vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
they have to
probably-
eat a lot of people, they get stronger.
That's true.
So it's reverse Soul Eater.
Yeah, you're right. But like, and I love vampires. I think they're super cool. But I also think if you put too many vampires into your story,
They're
disappointed vampires.
I am good
Alright,
with
alright, moving on, moving on.
I'm good with it at C because there is a big plot point reveal in the manga so far that makes that made me just go, That's the
Oh,
antithesis.
are you talking about the end of the blacksmith arc?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Do they
yeah.
introduce something that renders the power system a little?
It's what the entire story, it's what the entire plot of the story is about.
Yeah.
It's just revealed so late that it makes you go, eh?
Yes and no.
All right, y'all can discuss the narrative.
We just need to finish
portion.
it.
Yeah, I need to finish it. Then we'll have
We're
our
like on
talk.
151, something like that. We have
I've got all the
Bradley.
volumes.
yeah,
I
no,
just
but
need to
we're
read 'em.
we're like 50 chapters away from finishing the thing.
I'm picking for real.
Yeah.
For real.
Let's do Kingdom Hearts.
What is the power system of Kingdom? It is
It's
relevant to
trash.
the story.
But
It's light and darkness, bro.
but there's no defined like lines. There.
What is the power of waking? We spent multiple games unlocking
Nothing.
that, and I can't tell you what that power actually is.
So here's the thing. I'm of the opinion Kingdom Hearts actually has the exact same power system as Pact. And that's, if you say something that sounds right, it is.
But except Pact, that is the actual power. If you asked Tatsuya Nomura, that would be like, no.
Y'all can't say that's it, because then we're getting really close to Stormlight Archive power territory.
Oh, shit.
That's gonna be an interesting discussion. Kingdom Hearts, the coolest magic power thing in Kingdom Hearts is the system of Heartless and Nobodies. I think that's
I think those
a
are
fairly
super cool.
well-defined, cool system.
Is it though?
And it's pretty novel. It's pretty
fairly
neat
well
feeling.
defined.
It's got some going. What do you mean?
What do you mean with it?
What's wrong? What's wrong with
Why
it?
is it that some people turn into little?
You have to have a
goblin
strong
striplets?
heart. I mean, they do explain it.
Okay, and also the whole point of Kingdom Hearts 2 is that the strong nobodies do not have any emotions. They're trying to regain their humanity.
But they do.
But they do.
Wait, but they... No, I think it's that they can regain...
No, the whole point is
No.
that like, I'm not human. I don't feel any
No, like,
emotions.
I think how the story goes is
they
Xemnas
always-
is gaslighting.
Yeah,
They
so
always
this is
had 'em
gaslighting.
all- yeah, they had them all along. That's the point of Axel, is to show, hey, what if they was people? And then, yeah, he was gaslighting.
Yeah, like
But I think they gain emotions. They start with... But also, having no emotions means nothing in that world, because they clearly have personality. It's
right. But then, like, what's the bad point of being a strong nobody? What does that even mean?
You don't have a heart. And what does that mean?
What does that mean? Like,
And then you can grow a
fucking
heart.
Xandor cut himself in half. I was like, oh, fuck, this is
Y'all,
fucking great.
The only thing I know about the power of waking is that it's used wrong. I don't know the right way of... Like, Sora uses it to reverse time in Kingdom Hearts 3, and that's why he goes to Tokyo.
And then he dies for it.
His punishment for using it wrong is to go to his
Hell.
afterlife, which is real life Tokyo. So like, what's the right way? They're like, you're unlocking this to unlock sleeping worlds, and then that just goes away after Dream Drop Distance. Also,
I would assume that's like so they can be brought back into
the
like being
rules of
explorable.
time travel in this world are so convoluted.
Anyways, F tier.
Okay, yeah, F tier. I was thinking like D.
No.
But what's good about it? I can't think of a single good
Put
thing.
it above Ben 10. It's got the cool stuff with the Heartless and the Nobodies and the...
No, we just described why.
Can you tell me one cool thing that we actually could say about the... Because even in the battles, it's like, in gameplay, Sora's insane.
Yeah.
In the cutscenes, he's like, pew, 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 pew.
Fucking Donald Duck can do Zeta Flare.
And then
but
do
you
like
can't-
a fireball.
Yeah. It's just.
I think it's cool that... Hey,
Also,
where
like,
did the
Zeus should
fucking
be able to,
amusement
like,
park
fucking
rides
smite
come
everybody.
from in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Huh?
Where do the amusement park rides come from in Kingdom Hearts 3?
What? They just show up.
Yeah, I put it enough. I don't
But below or above Harry Potter? Above.
above,
Below.
put it above.
Let's give Harry Potter something.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright.
So is Bradley. Tyler.
You know what? We just threw it on there. Let's do Black Clover.
It's cool.
Black Clover is my next manga.
This is very Super
After the
Saiyan anime.
But it's using... So the power system is magic, but there's a cool branching of, like, elemental magic and branches of that, of, like, water can go into mirror and, like, ice and, like, other weird shit, and then combinations of it. It's doing the element chakra thing in Naruto, but introducing it way earlier. But also it has a bunch of power-ups.
Like you said, like there's like swamp magic, and everybody gets assigned a book randomly. Like that's the thing.
You get sorting hatted a book a little bit.
Cool. And some of them don't even make sense. There's like unite magic. Some people get trap magic.
Trap magic is cool. That guy's cool.
And like, there's barrier magic. Some people have spatial magic, which is really cool because it's like, oh, you can warp space, and then this guy can delete space, and it's like...
And they're the coolest characters to me, actually.
Yeah. So people can do really...
And then Asta has no power, except he has the best power, which is to negate magic.
Well,
in the world of magic.
there's a very specific reason behind that, and you only know it if you're caught up on all the manga.
Because his book is a demon, and he's a demon. I mean, we've heard it before.
It's actually because his mom fucked a demon.
That's kind of cool.
Like, okay, that's not canon, but that's ideally my thing.
Don't make me think Black Clover is cool.
I mean, his brother is like, his mom raised a demon child that was like adopted, and then Asta was born, and the book that was given to Asta is
that
the
why he had to grow up
book.
in a church? Because he's so tainted.
Like, I think so, yes.
Black Clover is the ultimate C tier, and like that's not bad.
It's not. It has a lot of creative ways
As a
that they
power
make their magic, dude.
It's cooler than Demon Slayer.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Is it B tier cooler?
You
know more.
Yeah.
I like Noelle. That's all
I like the way that they upgrade their magic throughout the manga and stuff. It's very inconsistent because they have one character that's like they have mana, but all of it's just like, here's the sheep girl and she cooks for people and now their magic is healed, but she never uses that until they need it.
It's like,
but like, why would you take a sense of being at like half health?
It's a very cool take of elemental magic, which is always a cool thing. Mm-hmm. But this is the second best book-based power system.
It's an ongoing manga.
I don't think it's B-worthy.
They have
Black Clover. Soul Eater does way more interesting things. With
it does. System, yeah. But Black Clover also does more interesting things than Demon Slayer and Bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why it's
above it.
Okay, yeah.
All right, Joe.
Let's go. Why are you taking away what I'm
Sorry, this is turning out differently than I expected.
Wow, that's crazy to me. But speaking of crazy, what about we do Mega Man?
All right. Mega Man, I threw in. That's just the series, because you got weird stuff like the power system is a robot can absorb other robots' power.
Series, do you mean the television series or like the
just
video?
A franchise? Just so I can talk about Mega Man Battle Network.
Can we talk about how there are several robots that can do what Mega Man does?
No.
What? Why? But like I thought Zero and all the other ones made by Light can also do that.
There's one per timeline, yeah, or per era. They're all like, so Mega Man gets upgraded to X eventually, and then Zero is made by Wily, but he's like taken in by
Light.
But Light's dead at this point, so how does that work?
Yeah.
And then Zero becomes like his own main character in the cooler Zero series. But then we get to Battle Network, where your power system is everyone has like a personal assistant that scours the internet and can use code as weapons.
Battle Network is probably the coolest,
cards,
and then there's ZX Advent, which is
play.
also really cool.
EX Advent is actually really cool because you're taking pieces of Reploids that are dead and using it.
But is that part of the main series or part of the side?
That's why I cheated and said series.
Yeah,
absolutely, those are canon.
And then that is the main series.
Yeah.
I'd argue it's more main series than Battle Network.
I would say Mega Man found its pace in Battle Network, actually.
I'm gonna put
Battle Network's the card game that we play, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love
it.
I'm gonna throw it in C.
Yeah.
And hey, you
know
know
there's a
what?
lot more C tiers out there than you think.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
we didn't put Sonic in here, Bradley. Maybe some things are better this
Bradley,
time.
Not after the ring tier list they dropped.
Jeez, what?
Like at least Mega Man as a power system makes for fun progression in a video game.
Sonic just goes yellow.
And
in one of them he turns into a werewolf.
And one of them he turns into a yellow knight.
And in Shadow gets a Harley and a gun.
So, Mega Man, its plots are light, but they do take the powers into account.
I like what you did there.
Oh shit, I did do it. Alright, we're gonna talk about the better version of a book power system, which is Zatch Bell.
Oh shit.
So I've been slowly rereading Zatch Bell. I'm scared to move on because someone should really join me because Zatch Bell's actually brilliant. Y'all won't believe me.
Oh.
Joe believes me, but he's doing mature berserk instead.
Ooh, titties.
Ooh. Actual emotions. Ooh. Zatch Bell's power system is 100 demon children are sent into the world and thrown into a battle royale where they have to find a human who can read spells off of the book that then the kids will channel. And as you bond and grow with your kid, more spells show up in the book. So your power set keeps growing and growing, and they're not just like Kamehameha and then Super Kamehameha are all offensive spells. You start getting support spells, you start getting utility spells, and then you start getting some upgraded versions of previous spells. And then mixing that and your demon child's like energy sources and also fighting in 2v2 makes for a really cool combat system.
Did you know there was a Zatch Bell card game?
Did you know there was a Zatch Bell fighting game?
Yeah, but
on the Game Boy Advance?
I said the card game's cool because when you get the starter pack, you get the Zatch Bell book, and that's your deck.
That's really
And
hot.
so like when you pick a demon child and you pick like their partner, and they have like a ranking of like how close they are, and it tells you how many book spaces you can use to fill it up and cast spells.
That's really cool. Another cool aspect of Zatch Bell is that you win battles by either. You could kill the child, but it's also like not supposed to be a particularly gruesome manga, even though it makes me cry at one point because it's so fucked up. But instead, you can burn their book instead. So you have to like do this balance of like fighting with your human and protecting the book. All that to say that like it's really good. Like because I'm the only one who's got super far into it, I'm not gonna put it in A, but I think it's an A tier power system. I'd put it like I'll put it below Soul Eater because all of y'all have seen Soul Eater.
I didn't ever use that spell. I just wish there was a easier
like
read.
official source.
Yeah, and like because I read the like first like 10 or 12 chapters I think.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, this is great. I fucking hate all these jank ass fan translations.
They are jank. All right, Bradley.
Let's fucking do Worm. Let's do it.
I mean, is there a question?
I used my greed point earlier. I'm not gonna use my greed point on this. I'm gonna use like my talking point on this one.
Yeah,
but I'm still gonna try to go quick because we still got plenty. I think like what's cool about this one, and this is like how the author describes the philosophy of it. He's like, wait, are y'all talking or am I echoing?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You might be echoing a bit.
Essentially, the author, he's like, the powers are meant to represent trauma, and he's like, what that does not mean is if someone gets shot in the face, they don't get invisible faces of power. But rather, he's like, think about it like this. Let's say you had like a famous actor who had his face sliced up by a jealous fan. And then whenever he's trying to hold his face together and it's bleeding out, he is thinking about the fact that he's always going to be scared anytime he has a concert, that he might not look beautiful anymore because he's going to have a scar. And so maybe he gets a power that's like he becomes invulnerable, but only whenever he's holding his hand up to this horrible scar he has on his face. Because what that power does is it is always going to feed into that trauma. He's always going to want to cover his face, not only one, because he's ugly now, but two, he's literally only safe if he's holding his hand to his face. And that's the philosophy he uses to make a lot of these powers. And goddamn, I think it just makes for some awesome characters.
Yeah, like the power system is very based on let's make superheroes fighting a lot part of the story as well, and also part of the power system where it makes you go do conflict, and it does a really good job at explaining it. And we're not going to spoil Worm, but the source of these powers, when I got to that chapter, I was like, okay, Bradley, I totally get it now.
They are kind of spiritual connections, and maybe that's why we like Stormlight so much.
There's like a metaphysical level to like you and your power source in this world. And it's very hard sci-fi. It goes out of its way to like explain exactly how a power would work with every like detail. Some might say to explain, but like only if you really think about it. The story never halts to like lecture you on exactly how a power is working. It just creates a
it's like in a
system where you can
broad
explain
scope.
everything.
I would vote for S personally.
No, of course it's
I won't
S.
use a greed point. I mean, of course it's S, right?
I mean,
I don't have to use a greed point.
Only Tyler could disagree and have a gun to him.
I don't know. I read Worm really quick, and then I was there for the tier list with y'all.
We did some talks.
Dude, that was a fun tier list.
I'd say it's really interesting. People got their powers in interesting ways. They found out ways to forge the powers. Then they found out ways to forge people getting powers. And then they found out why some people are stronger than others with their powers.
All these things have answers.
Yeah.
And they all feed into the theme of the story.
Yeah.
It's a good power system.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And there's cool power. So, like, it's hitting every mark. It's doing cool stuff with a cool system.
Yeah.
You know what? Certified S.
And then I'm sure Ward is cool too, but we'll never know.
Oh, I mean,
we'll never know.
I spoiled it. Oh wait, actually, I don't think Ward is as cool.
That could be the case, but you know what? We're gonna pretend like that just says Worm. All right, Tyler.
All right, what we got?
Let's do.
Oh, Bradley the Worm. Okay.
Macadamia Nut Cookie, My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay.
What do
Next
I
to
even?
One Piece. Love of One Piece.
What do I even think of this?
I don't know, man. Like, it's like
you're just born with a
to me, it's
power.
very, very like One Piece level of stuff, where it's just like the powers just kind of exist, and depending on like how creative you are.
But it's given to you
still
by
alright stuff
birth.
there, right?
Yeah, which is pretty clear.
And One Piece has multiple power systems.
Yeah,
working.
and I think the biggest hit against My Hero Academia is is the lack of creativity of how the powers are gotten. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I think One for All and All for One are cool.
Yes, those are cool concepts.
And it's interesting that like those powers exist within that universe in a transfer, and that's a cool plot point. But like the system as a whole, it's just
One for All is less cool than you think.
One for All is the bad one, correct?
No, that's the good one.
Yeah.
Is
It jumps the shark.
Does it? Cool.
Yeah, I'll say. But the power system in general is good. I think something like the students aren't super creative with it either. It's
But
more
that's
about
also
like
the point
it's
of-
more about teamwork.
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I think you can get some really cool fights out of them.
I think the most interesting power we got so far was like Lemillion.
Yes,
They just-
where his
But
power,
no, it wasn't even his power. It was the drawbacks and training he had to do with his power. Like some of the powers in the world, like they really highlight like the human limitations of them, and that would be really cool to know more about.
True.
a plus to this power system is people who are disfigured as a result of their power, but more importantly, villains who have powers that are culturally unacceptable, so they have no choice but to go down the path of a villain. That's something
Like
that
Singing?
no, like Toga, but that's something Toga and Shigaraki, but that's something that you only get in a later arc that's not animated yet.
I like that kind of thing, though.
And I think I talked to Bradley about it, and even he thought it seemed pretty cool.
I think My Hero as a story is very fun.
It's like
But, like-
it's a generic low B.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's cool powers.
I think it's like the base standards of like powers going forward. You
Yeah.
know? I think the biggest thing about it that's good is that it unless I'm mistaken, it puts its ceiling very upfront of like how powerful things can be. It's not like a Super Saiyan situation, but I don't know.
Dude, there's a villain who is just annihilating everything in a wave that's just expanding and doesn't stop, and you just have to run. Like, how do you fight someone who can one-shot kill everyone in a like? Just punch? You just punch him? Oh, okay.
100 serious punishments.
I'll tell Deku to just punch him. Except there's a whole moral thing. I think Black Clover has a cool power, and I bet Tyler agrees.
You mean My Hero?
I think Black Clover has a cooler power.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, much cooler. Like I would put My Hero Academia in Ben 10 tier. Like
D?
yeah, like I genuinely don't like this show.
You don't like the show.
I don't like the show. No.
Okay,
I watch it all.
we're not talking about the show.
There's nothing interesting about it. It's just generic superhero.
But there's
powers.
nothing wrong with it. Okay, we'll put it
Like,
here.
let's talk about My Hero Academia heroes in Superpower World compared to Worm.
No, that's why it's not even close to
It
Worm.
isn't. It's just not.
that's the
no,
bad-
it goes even below Demon Slayer.
No.
Yes.
Damn,
I
really?
would put it below Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Demon Slayer, I think. Like,
Then if we're going
Shit.
that way, it's below Metal Gear Solid.
I was
Yeah,
gonna let
that's
y'all
fine.
put it in low B.
I think what I really like about Demon Slayer.
It's only one tier. It's only 1 point above Shaolin.
I think the thing about Demon Slayer is that it has very defined. Like there are 10 techniques. If another technique
That
gets
is pretty
discovered,
high.
it's a
It
huge
also
deal.
keeps them being human. Like
Yeah.
they are
Dude.
not superhumans. They're like they get one hit
yeah.
and they nearly die.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. There's a lot of stakes on.
It's a lot of deflecting with your technique.
Yeah, it's very much a like.
Okay, all right.
Anyways,
Y'all,
Alright,
there is
Joe.
an actual tier list that exists
Y'all,
where
this is a
Shaolin
giant
Showdown
middle
is
finger.
sandwiched by My Hero Academia and Ace Attorney.
And that's why you come to the Roundabout Cast. No matter
Like,
how
try
much
to-
I'm bullshitting my way
try to-
through this.
Try to get people to guess what this fucking tier list
No
is.
matter how many apartments.com ads you see in this video, you're here for this.
Oh, yeah.
I've looked into this one.
You
by the
even
way.
have ad block.
I do. It's
What the fuck is
working.
this
It's
shit?
working its best.
there will be a lot more titties.
All right,
on screen.
Joe.
Let's do MCU because we're talking about superheroes.
It's what if it is like there's no consistency.
This is the foundation, though.
not MCU.
Not MCU.
Oh, just the movies.
Just the movies.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about a comic book. Are you kidding me?
I've read a lot of Spider-Man, but even then, it's all bullshit. Like
Spider-Man's a spider token, not
Yeah.
a radioactive spider. So
Yeah.
how's that for a
I
power
don't know,
system?
man.
Here's the thing. I would put MCU at least over Harry Potter.
No, I'm not saying it's F, but I am saying it's D.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
showing my cards.
Yeah,
But how entertaining is the MCU?
Very.
very.
And the powers aren't super creative. It's the character writing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
I can
Nick,
see
what
that.
is the
Which-
most
which is not in
creative?
the power system.
What is the most creative power in the MCU? Like Wrecker or Brains?
Probably like Scarlet Witch, but
Which that's a non-defined.
Which
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
yeah,
yeah.
it does. So no.
Captain America can
Spider-Man.
throw a shield. That's the most defined thing there is.
It defies physics. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like
Thor
Spider-Man.
can bring his
Hold on,
hammer.
Bradley. What do you like?
I like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There's Moldy.
I mean, I
and Moldy
don't know.
is
That's
actually
about
probably-
it. I don't know.
I guess Thor has the coolest
I mean,
powers.
they do really cool tech inventing.
Yeah.
They do. It's a lot of science and there's cool combo attacks.
Yeah.
And the bad guys invent the same tech that's as strong as
Yeah,
the
but
good
they're
guys.
bad guys.
Yeah.
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 So
Bad guys kind of good.
this is kind of where it needs to be.
I think so too.
Pokemon's way cooler. I will say
Yeah.
it does have cool fights.
It does have cool fights. That's the points again.
But
I
like
think
it's
that's
because
just-
you've never
I don't
seen
think it's because the powers. I think it's just choreography.
it's choreography. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pick Fullmetal Alchemist.
Full Metal
The
Alchemist.
power system of Fullmetal Alchemist, as I recall, is a mix of magic and science, where like you can just
Yeah.
make science happen through summoning
Man,
circles.
this shit's straight up S tier.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. They define their power system. Everything has rules, ingredients. They have drawbacks and limitations.
But while
they
they're-
have superhuman god level beings, which are
Yeah.
the
The homunculus.
the homunculus,
homunculus
which are
are
like
super
the
cool.
Yeah.
which are like the root of human essence.
Yeah, and also they have their own drawbacks and their laws within themselves too.
But you know what? What is a knock against it? It's science based.
But that's
it
alchemy.
skips
That is
all
what
the,
alchemy
but
is.
it skips all the science.
That is literally what alchemy is.
It needs more
Alchem-
Dr. Stone in it.
No.
No.
Because the whole point of alchemy is like you just have a general idea of science, and then you use magic to fill in the rest of the gaps. So like they know like a toaster and a radio both use metal and some sort of radio things.
The coolest thing is the use of human life in the power
Yeah.
system.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with the Philosopher's Stones
Yeah.
and the homunculi. Bradley, you've seen... I always forget if you've seen Full Metal.
Dude, it's been so I don't remember hardly
Yeah.
anything.
And you
I'm
probably
gonna be
watched
honest.
the bad one.
I've seen Brotherhood like 8 times.
Yeah.
I need to watch it
Brotherhood.
again. I need to start today. Actually.
It has even with our main protagonists and why we're following them and why they have such good plot armor is even given to other characters to drag them down.
Yeah, that's
to make
true.
and that's like a consistency throughout the show.
And the show, the power system, the theme, and the story is all about equivalent exchange.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Edward's very good at doing what he does, but he's also horribly scarred both physically and emotionally to have gotten that power.
Yeah.
Alphonse has a huge weakness where if someone cheap shots him and hits his seal, he dies forever.
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's cool stuff like that. I wouldn't say it's S.
I
I'm
would.
thinking high B.
I think
No.
it's high A.
Hi, A. This show has rules
Yeah.
and
I could put it in
follows
A.
them.
Ooh, you know what? Put it even like above Bioshock. Possibly?
Yeah, I would put it above that.
Yeah,
This
Wheeler,
is fair.
This show
This
is
is fair.
really good.
I need to rewatch it.
I think
I thought it was a little wibbly wobbly.
No,
Nah.
and
I love it.
And they even have alchemy, where they introduce the concepts of other countries having alchemy, and they're deriving it from the different sources that the German country in the
Yeah.
military base company is using it.
Yeah.
They use a natural flow, and they even say why the country is so weird. They're like, the alchemy that this country uses is bizarre, and it's because their science is wrong. They don't draw it from the natural energy. They draw it from the life-consuming energy.
yeah.
Okay.
The
Anyways.
show's fucking good.
It is,
a good show.
absolutely. Oh, if this was a quality tier list, I love Fullmetal.
I mean,
Alchemist.
I think Fullmetal's. I think all of us agree on. If you want to get an anime, either watch Fullmetal or you watch
I think Death Note's the other
Death
path.
Note. That's the other one.
I think you can now throw My Hero in there.
Maybe.
It's all uphill.
I don't know. Fullmetal, like, it has a complete story. It's done, and it's like really well paced. Brotherhood.
Who
at least.
picked Fullmetal? Was that me? Bradley, you go again. Fuck it.
It was.
No,
I'm
it
going
was Tyler.
again.
It was Joe. Joe, you go.
I picked Fullmetal.
Okay, I pick Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Let's go, bitch. It's fun.
We're just talking about Last Airbender.
No,
not-
Korra too.
Oh fuck.
Easy A for me.
I think A at least for me.
Easy A.
Somewhere
Do we really
in A.
need to talk
It's gotta
about
be
it?
somewhere in A.
What's keeping it from S?
What is the? Yeah, you know.
It's just
You
base
do kung
elemental.
fu that fits like natural flowing source. Like if you move like the moles, you control Earth. If you move like the moon, you control water.
What's keeping it from S is that the foundation of it is a kids show, so they don't get to make it really complex.
True.
And there's no
There's
like,
no mana.
there's no mana.
But it's more of a stamina thing. The thing about Avatar: Last
But he never
Airbender.
even touches on that.
But-
you just get hit by a water blast and you might get knocked
But like
out.
the thing about Avatar: Last Airbender compared to Harry Potter is that in Avatar, you have to hone your skill. Like it's not just like it's. I would say it's much harder to learn the bending technique in
Katara
Avatar.
in
You know
particular
what?
really shows that.
It's much
I think
harder to
there
learn
is something to
bending in
be-
Avatar. Sorry, go Bradley.
There's something to be said for the fact that you can totally get hit by a fire blast if you're not a firebender, or you can get hit by a boulder and you're not an earthbender, and like characters will get up and they'll be really hurt, but they're just weirdly not burned or bruised. I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
because the show never lets you get fully hit by the fire. You
Yeah.
get like grazed by
I
it and
guess.
get knocked out, or a stone like hits you in the leg or something.
Man,
Some shit like that.
I think Korra. I mean, both shows do a really good job at tying the power system with the culture, which I think is a plus as well.
I really like Korra's origination in the power too.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool
All
story.
right, okay, we can do high A,
I think high A, nearly top.
above
of A.
Full Metal.
I would say above Full Metal because at least it's defined, and like
I
always,
think Attack on Titan goes on to do more with its power
I
system.
guess so. I think the one thing about Avatar that always sticks out in my brain is there's a scene, and why I think it's a really good power system, because there's a part where Azula gets introduced, and Zuko asks Iroh, "How do I defeat the lightning?" And Iroh does this technique with him,
Yeah.
and like the way he explains it, it makes sense.
Yeah, you take the flow
Flow,
and like with
put it in your
chi
stomach,
and, yeah. Oh,
and you
that is,
and like
man.
it's like that makes sense because it ties into how like you,
it's chi manipulation.
yeah,
shit,
and,
like
and
cooling.
like it's something that's
It's very spiritual.
it's spiritual, and you can see the character practicing it, and like it makes sense. And like if you were there, you had that ability.
Sidebar: this turned out way better than I expected. It's not how the tier list is not how I expected, but it's all going well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to you, Bradley.
Let's do Steven Universe.
There's not much going on. You have a power that's kind of based on your gem,
Yeah.
and that power is
Yeah.
a little loose. Pearls can do this power set, and amethyst can do this power set.
And they can fuse, and you can get some other stuff too, which
The
is really
fusion's
cool.
cool.
Fusions are really really cool.
It's Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Which I mean, that's the whole Steven Universe. Is just
It's just
1990s anime like with gays.
I'm sure Dragon Ball.
Oh,
is
it's
there somewhere.
great. I need to finish Future
Oh, Future is fantastic.
because
but
Oh my god!
it doesn't do anything new to the power. Well,
No.
you know it does actually. Steven goes, "Oh my god, oh my god, the future." What's cool is gem corruption. Actually, that's a cool part of their world and power system. I'll put it like somewhere in C. What are you thinking,
I think
Bradley?
I could put it above Shaolin Showdown.
Yeah. No, I think Shingo Wu are cooler than. the
Actually,
looseness
hold on,
of
there
gem
was-
power.
Yeah.
I think it's too loose, actually, to be high C.
Yeah.
It's more. It does cooler
Well, I
things than
guess,
Ben 10.
but I think, unless I'm mistaken,
Yeah.
don't all gyms with the same gym do the same thing?
And then like I think it's their creativity and freedom that lets them
Yeah.
get more. Like Pearl is the best Pearl we see because she's like has experience and actually
Yeah.
fights and she's not just a slave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
All right, Tyler,
Tyler.
we're getting there. Only bangers
right.
are left.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
This is an interesting one.
There's
There's
a
Hamon.
big X on the consistency.
Yeah.
Big X. Don't
God
even
damn,
try.
Big X is a. It's like a squiggly X. Sometimes it is consistent.
It's pretty
though.
big squiggly.
Dude, I think like one of the peak angers for me was the like narration bubble going like Jolene can manipulate any part of her body except her heart, and then I'm like, oh cool, and then you turn the page and she manipulates her heart.
Or even.
Translation error, I'm sure.
Would be surprised to say including.
It is. They are really unique. Stands
They are.
And then there's Hamon
Oh, yeah.
Spin
Now
No,
there
they're fucking
is
awesome.
there
and
are
Pillar Man Power.
yeah,
Whatever the fuck that
And
is.
rock people.
Vampire and rock people.
but like
But really, we came here for the stands.
yeah, and like the stands have guidelines more than they have rules.
You know, Hamon is stupid, but it's not the worst.
You know, I'll be fair here, and I'll say it's like a B.
I think that's even too high for it.
Two responses Willer was not expecting.
Yeah, no. Take this consistency aside. Nothing hits the weird highs of JoJo
No,
stuff.
I think you're right there, and I think it's consistency and like
But the creativity of what you
Yeah.
get, and like, as far as creativity go, nothing is breaking the scale. It's like there is no. There is. What is this face?
Yeah, literally, he's like, I delete time.
Yeah, that's fine. It makes sense in
How does
Kuroko's
King
head.
Crimson work?
Here's the problem: the powers themselves don't break any scales. It's in the longer a power is used, the more Araki will contradict himself.
What about Golden Wind?
We don't talk about his 3 powers, minus 2 powers, minus +1 power. But Bradley, you're with me, right? Like the
What about the
power,
head doctor?
The powers themselves are amazing, and it's a cool
Oh,
system.
yeah.
Stands usually follow that rule where you can only have one, and if it gets hit, you get hit. And they will.
No, there's definitely got to be one that.
They make a point that
There is
sometimes-
someone that has more than one stand, I guarantee it.
Yes, there's 3 people.
Oh, okay.
But
there are guidelines, they're not rules.
but
Loose.
Yeah.
it's loose. But like
There are
nothing
no
does it
rules.
like it.
No, I mean you're right, but at the same time,
I think the definition of the power system is there are no rules and there's no consistency, and because he does create really creative powers, they don't have to follow any rules.
But-
does that make for a good power system?
yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say the most consistent thing is
this is Kingdom Hearts done right.
I'd
You're
say
not wrong.
I'd say the most consistent thing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is that stand users are attracted to each other.
That's such a cool
Yeah.
mechanic, though.
Also, that as a stand user,
Is
you are not.
it cool or is it a good plot excuse?
yes, to both.
But and also as a human being, you are not more powerful physically
Yeah.
than any other.
Now you
human
could
being.
use your stand to jump across Cairo, but let's forget that for a second.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Jotaro just flying.
But like
around.
if Jotaro gets shot with a gun, he's dead.
A couple shots.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Bradley, you haven't talked yet.
I mean, the abilities are fucking awesome, and it influenced so much other stuff. But man, sometimes Araki just nah.
my favorite
Driving me
is
crazy, man.
D4C. You can't bring money with you.
Why? Why was that even
Y'all,
read?
I wasn't ready for Weather Report either.
Oh,
So,
you're still not ready
you're
for
still not
weather.
ready.
Yeah,
for Weather
exactly.
Oh my. Oh wow. Yeah. S tier. Okay, can we?
I will sell for low B, just because they're very cool.
I
Fighters.
was thinking this was a shoe-in for A.
no.
Bradley, where would you put it?
I'd put it Man, I'd even put it above Bioshock. Maybe it's interesting as fuck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No. Here's the thing.
I think the definition of a system is it has to have some consistency,
Right.
But
and
it has
zero.
some. Zero is pushing it.
But okay,
One.
but like all these, all the things.
Okay, sorry. You take one use of every stand user's powers and you put them all sides to side. You have a cohesive world.
Okay.
But then you use multiple uses of Golden Wind and it's less cohesive.
I want you to look at all the things in A tier. Every system in A tier has very defined rules and systems.
Which is why there's multiple, like, things that this tier list is about.
Right.
There's
Yeah,
plus
that's what I'm
seasons of
saying,
JoJo's
is
that
like-
aren't even in the
I don't
same
think it's consistent
universe.
at all, but I think
Well,
the
that's
other
fine.
aspects of it
Bradley,
make it
talk, shut
outweigh
up.
that.
Sorry, Bradley?
I'm saying, like, I agree that it's not hardly consistent, but I think the other qualities it has outweighs that for me. To put
But here's a consistent point. Close range stands tend to be stronger. If you hit a stand, you get hit. The stands where that doesn't apply are weirdo stands that don't function like the other stands.
remote stands.
Remote stands.
Right. And I
Like,
get
that's somewhat... What is inconsistent is if you look at a single character and you look at how he uses his power throughout the journey,
Right.
that's inconsistent.
Right.
But, like, as a system, it's not that bad.
I mean, you're not wrong there, but I think also like it just sort of sometimes goes way off the mark of like what you think how it should operate, and I don't know.
All right.
There's
We can't go for too long.
yeah, it's just
I'll put top of B.
okay. I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
I disagree.
I think-
the original power system was apparently so lame. He just started writing a new manga and didn't even change the name.
Hell yeah, he did. That's called Chad
And
maneuver.
you know what? He did it twice.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, but you don't know about rock insects, and you may
Oh my
never know
God.
about rock insects. Do 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 de da da da.
Obla di obla da.
Is it my turn?
Yes, please.
Can we just calm down with Metroid a little bit?
Yeah. Cool
oh
us off.
man,
It's
can't.
It's same
What
as
do
Mega
we
Man.
say about Metroid?
That's just it's just Mega Man.
it's better than Mega Man. It takes itself a little more seriously.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Dude, the end of Dread.
It's like the power system, and yeah, the alien
they're-
abilities are cool too.
They do evolve. They do.
Aren't Chozo's cool? Don't they do cool shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like above Bleach maybe.
That feels high.
That does.
It's also very gameplay. It is cool that you're absorbing parts of an alien to do new attacks, but
You have to do it every game,
the
but
fact that she's a Metroid is pretty neat.
yeah.
She's
Oh,
just
yeah,
like Ichigo,
like-
actually. It's actually perfect to have them next to each
Yeah,
other.
she absorbs
She-
shit.
She's everything, and Ichigo's everything.
Say it again, Bradley.
Yeah, like she's a Metroid. She absorbs shit. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right,
She's an SAX.
Joe?
Man, all these are bangers down here.
I think so.
Gurren Lagann's the only one that I don't know much about, so we're gonna go with Gurren Lagann. I've seen like half of Gurren Lagann.
Only me and Tyler have, I think.
Gurren Lagann. Okay, so I've known that you ever like see so much around an anime's existence and you don't know much about it, and then you randomly watch it without knowing that that's it, and it blows your fucking mind.
You didn't know how much was like influenced from like the memes you were seeing?
I had no idea because nobody in my friend group has like talked about Gurren Lagann. It's one of those things that just came and went because it's like it is just a small short little anime. It's like 25 episodes.
The power system is...
Linear.
You know how One Piece, you're stronger with your willpower?
Yeah.
That's to a degree. Gurren Lagann is literally you are as
Willpower.
strong as your willpower.
Yeah, it's great. Because
Damn.
it's completely linear, and I guess that is the cool thing. It is a linear anime that goes from a hole in the dirt
To the depths of space and
to
beyond.
fighting galactic beings.
All because you believed harder throughout
Yeah.
the series. And your machine is powered by that belief, and it gets upgrades based on how
And
high...
they don't retcon it, and you can even grow new
There's
parts
nothing-
of your machine
there-
with willpower.
There's nothing to retcon. It doesn't try to make sense either. It's kind of in the same JoJo level. Like
It's like biomechanics too.
yes,
Yeah.
It's nanomachines?
No,
No.
like you're
that's stupid.
You're, oh, there's also the animal people that like rule the world.
That's less cool,
Yeah, but they have machines too.
man. But the anti-spirals that are a race that stopped evolving because it leads to you destroying yourself, so they just like stay in stasis and they
Hey.
look cool. A? No. You're capping. This
It's
shit's
definitely better than JoJo's.
B. Low B. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
like that other thing that's at the top of B.
There is no power system here, but it makes good use of that fact.
No, he upgrades constantly throughout the show, and they have they compare and contrast, and they even bring in like why they. There's a power system. You know,
Yeah, alright. Low B, low B. Alright, I'm going to pick Naruto. This is an underrated power system.
The gates don't mean anything.
Oh my god.
the gates do, but not when
He's
you.
still alive.
Yeah, he does die. The problem is Naruto's Jesus.
Yeah, he is. It's okay to die when Jesus is on your party.
Yes.
No, like jokes aside, I agree with you. I think
It's
Naruto's
really
power
good.
system is really good.
Yeah, they like have the source of all ninjutsu, and then one of the guys said, "I'm gonna make porn with it," and she's like, "This isn't how it was supposed to be used," and then you win.
A brilliant scene.
That
by
was
the way.
great. That's a great.
Naruto, until the final arc, is an S tier power system for the most part. I think the Sharingan is lame.
There's some weird things with like inconsistencies. I feel like the Sharingan doesn't make any fucking sense.
It just gets like new abilities, and then like at the end you find out it's because it's like the eyes of a god, like Rinnegan.
Yeah, but it's so inconsistent with like how good the Sharingan is. It's like, oh, is the one circle? It's like Sasuke goes from being really good with the one circle, and then somebody's just faster than him. But it's like he's supposed to mirror any move that someone.
So he's faster now.
Yeah, but he can't do it, so he has to get two little circles, and then it's like.
What I don't like is like when you get into like Susanoo and Amaterasu, it's like, okay, this was already strong. Now you have unique abilities just because you have an eyeball that's different. That's kind of so weird. And they're not illusionary abilities. They're like ninjutsu, not genjutsu. If it was all illusion shit tied to the eyes, I think that would have worked better.
And then we're not going to talk about Boruto because that completely retcons all of Naruto, so it's whatever.
That's upsetting.
Boruto's a fucking piece of
But
trash.
I like the elemental system they introduced late into the series. They do get some good use of it.
It's also
and that's not even like that's not even something that overrides the current existing system because like
they fill it in. It's like how hockey comes into One Piece. It's like it's just a thing now. It's just a bonus.
They're using like lightning and fire and all that,
always
and
been
mud
doing that.
and water before all that. But now there's a reason for like it's
There's a reason.
It was well introduced.
and it's well introduced because they introduce it to the
Litmus paper.
special kid in the class who wouldn't have understood it anyway.
Oh, Naruto?
Yes, it's, yeah.
Because Naruto cheats the whole series by having infinite chakra.
I mean, he has to work for it.
He does. But you were talking about how
if he's using, if there's any point throughout the first 4/5 of the show that he's using infinite chakra, there is a chance he will kill the people next to him.
which is cool.
That's a good drawback.
The Tail Beast, also a cool system. I like that draw that they have.
Yeah.
I would say this is a high A.
I would too.
Yeah.
I like it more than Avatar.
I do too.
I think it's an
only
advanced
thing-
version of Avatar.
The only thing that's keeping it from S is stuff like Sharingan, and then when you get to the origins and godhood.
Sage mode is a little odd too.
Yo, but summons.
But summons.
Summons are super good.
Yeah,
You have to make a contract with them, and like they become
that's super
familial.
good. And they live in a whole different world, so like you.
I don't think the Sage mode's that bad.
It isn't, but there's
Sage
like
it's like a meditation. Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's weird that it implies almost anybody could use a type of sage mode.
But they need to learn
but they
it.
need to have like godly chakra in them. So it's a
is
little.
is that what they retcon?
It isn't, but it's
Jiraiya
like,
doesn't have godly chakra.
he doesn't. But it's like the sage of the six paths. Like it's derived from the sage. So you have to have some tie of
All
sagely.
chakra is derived from that loser.
Maybe Jiraiya cool.
Yeah, well, this is now.
Rip the best.
I know, right?
All right,
Pour one
Bradley.
out for the homie.
We're down to.
Oh, jeez.
We should get rid of the ones that we should actually do Don to Don real quick.
Yeah, let's do that. I love Don to Don.
But that's not your pick, Bradley. I don't think it's super good as a power system.
No, I don't think so either.
The power system is
Ghosts.
you can get possessed, and then you can transform and morph into that creature, but it also influences your personality.
Yeah, you basically the way it works is that there's like yokai spirits, and Oh god! And depending on how that yokai dies, it becomes a certain kind of yokai.
Yes.
And that can range from a woman killing herself and that used to be an acrobat to being a literal child sacrifice for a volcano.
And then your greed, your like hatred morphs you into this creepy diaper man.
Yeah.
And then you possess one of the main characters, and now that main character can't be touched by hot water, or else he transforms back into the full evil
Cold water.
form.
What is this,
Cold water.
Gremlins?
Did somebody say diaper man?
Did somebody say
Man.
drama 1/2?
Yeah, but man, there are some cool fucking fights in this.
Oh, it's incredible. Like, the fights are incredible.
Like-
It's just, the thing is, aside from the main female, we explained the ghost side of the power
Yeah.
systems. There's also the alien side of things. This is a story about ghosts and aliens. The main female girl has ESP powers where she makes, like, psychic hands that she can form around, and it's just used really brilliantly, but they're very basic psychic hands. But every other character gets possessed by a spirit, and they just have very heightened physical abilities. That's where I think it goes a little too tame. Like, they don't do any special attacks; they just move crazy. And like, what I think is happening, and I should probably save this for the Don 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 podcast we'll do. I think they're building up for a soccer team for an arc that's going. I think an arc is
That'd be
going to be
sick.
saving the world through soccer against aliens.
So that's the other thing too, is that like the aliens are like surrounding Earth, but they don't want to invade Earth because they don't know how yokai work.
that is a cool mechanic.
So-
this is more like a world building thing.
Yeah. Yo, Dandan's super fucking cool. I don't think it has the greatest power system,
No.
but like I think
it's a low C.
yeah, I
far
think
as power
the
system.
characters in it are
Oh,
baller.
it's like the best manga out right now.
yeah, new manga out.
Yeah, like it's incredible. It's ridiculous. Okay, now Bradley could pick.
Dude, what's One Piece got cooking?
Okay, One Piece
I know.
has. Oh, it's 1A Willer Wi-Fi. One Piece has devil fruits, which come in 3 types, and then it has hockey, which also comes in 3 types. I wonder if there will be a new triple typed mechanic
That would
introduced.
fill out the 9s.
Yeah, that'd be a nice 9.
Um,
Am I missing something? Then it has like stuff
Hockey.
like swordsmanship. I
He
mentioned
mentioned
hockey.
hockey.
It's got like swordsman abilities.
I guess
and,
you have, like, swordsman,
and the
punching,
6
and
powers.
guns. Oh,
One
God,
Piece
6.
is not very high,
no.
But at the same time, you know, they play around with these things more than you think they would at first glance.
creativity very high, consistency fairly high.
Mid. No.
I mean, they
Okay, hockey and devil fruits are both very good power systems that are used very well.
Yeah.
If I had to give hockey a problem, it's too limiting. I wish you could explain.
My problem with One Piece is that hockey doesn't exist the entire first half of the show.
The entire
and
is
then we
not
have
true.
flashbacks to them using hockey.
No.
And then they never use hockey. Like, dude, like
Hockey
Whitebeard
would-
doesn't use hockey in the Great Pirate War.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Admirals
Also,
use
the
it too.
admirals especially do
Yeah.
as well, and
I literally have been watching clips of this for the past
they don't do
week.
the black coating though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing that happens post time skip.
It's
It's
but that's also
I mean, I know Shanks does use hockey.
Also, Anaru
in
uses hockey
pre-time
as
skip.
well.
Also, the black
That's
part of the
different.
hockey isn't a canon thing of it. It's just to show the readers that it is happening.
Yeah, and they don't
That's
do
always that's the thing.
That's
So, okay,
important.
That aside,
Yeah. No, you're right.
I think the uses of hockey are consistent and good. Like the 3 categories are used well. The problem is they don't explain all the other bullshit that happens in the One Piece combat world, and that's the like. People just shoot beams out of their swords. They just catch on fire. They just fucking make their hair move. They poke you to death, and none of that is fucking explained.
Yeah.
It is just shit people can do. And then Oda has certainly started explaining people catching on fire. And I'm like, fuck off, Oda. It is too late. I've already... But as far as devil fruits go, that is a very good system. And hockey's a good...
Devil Fruit's
addendum.
great because it has one weakness that's well defined.
Yeah.
You fall in the water, you lose your power. Or no, you don't lose it. You lose control of your body and your power.
Yeah.
And you drown. And you die.
Yes.
It's which is good.
And I think... And hockey goes well into the themes of One Piece, which is willpower. So, like, it all adds up thematically, but also there's so much stuff that is unexplainable by anything. Like shooting noodles out of
And
your nose.
there's a current thing going on that that could also
There's so if we want to get into awakenings, Paramecia awakenings, super cool. I really like
Yeah.
them actually. Zoan awakenings are a little fucky.
yeah.
But we'll get there if hopefully Oda explains it. Bradley, what do you think about One Piece's powers?
Like sheer entertainment factor, I feel like it's got to go up there. Like, I mean, it is kind of wacky sometimes. I'd feel like a low B maybe.
I would say like
Because like think of Miss Golden Week. What the fuck is that?
Oh, yeah.
That's not a devil
Yeah.
fruit. What the fuck is that?
I think
But also like when it is like cool stuff like fire fruit versus smoke fruit or rubber versus lightning or like how Chopper has forms, like all that stuff is cool and also all kind of works together.
See,
well.
it reminds me of Jojo's where it's like we have rules, but there are some times where like the rules don't apply and we don't know how to explain why they don't apply.
Some people have theorized, you know those mushrooms in Amazon Lily that make Luffy like feel different emotions?
that's her paints?
They say her paint's made of those mushrooms. It's like, maybe. We'll never know.
Yeah,
It could be anything. I would say it's somewhere in B.
I would say so too.
I'd put it below Zatch Bell.
Okay, it's fair
Yeah.
enough.
Alright,
Cool.
and
Tyler.
that leaves us with 4.
Let's talk about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Alright, so
I don't know
Because
nothing.
I don't know how this
Bradley-
power system
Bradley,
actually
you would
works.
like Jujutsu Kaisen. Me neither.
Yeah, so,
Like, what the fuck?
Okay, but also
but
we're
the
not.
powers are cool.
Yeah, but we're also not very far in Jujutsu Kaisen.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
That's why I was like, all right, for context, we have seen the first season of the anime.
Yes.
And that's it.
I was supposed to watch Film Zero with a person the other day, but it got canceled. I didn't watch that.
They have zones and spirit
I like
powers.
zones. They make you lose control.
Oh, you mean domain expansions? I heard
Yeah.
Zoan like the One Piece transformations. I was like,
No,
ooh.
they got domain
Manga?
they got domain expansions,
But-
which is cool.
What? But
The other thing about domain expansions is it seems like you never.
That's their field spell.
Yeah, that's always what it is. But like the thing about domain expansions, it seems to me you should never throw your domain expansion out first because the second one that shows up cancels it out.
No.
it is like early Yu-Gi-Oh field spells where you overwrite.
It does like the thing about domain expansions from my understanding is first of all it takes a lot of energy to put it out.
Yeah.
Secondly, you can only override it if yours is stronger. Otherwise, it just cancels them both out, and then you've expended all that energy too.
These are already cool mechanics. Here's the
Yeah.
thing: this is Hunter x Hunter, but it doesn't explain anything.
But we're also not very far.
But you know what is cool? Like,
Goto.
Itadori's fucking. Yeah, there's a guy Bradley whose power is to cut something at a 3/7 line.
Yeah.
So picture a ruler and he can cut you perfectly at the 3/7 line. I can't even explain it. It's ridiculous.
Also,
and he has overtime.
Yeah,
it looks like we're going to overtime.
his power also is if the time of the day is after 5, he's clocked out of work and he's weaker, but he can push past that,
fuck?
as I recall.
No. If it's after 5 o'clock and he's still working, he goes into overtime for a little bit, and
Which
he
is
becomes
stronger, 'cause
one and a
he's-
half times stronger.
Yeah, but then he falls off.
Yes,
that's what
because
happens.
he's getting overworked.
Yeah. Which is really funny, but it's a badass line.
What
where-
I like is the Itadori Black Flash,
Yeah.
where like Goto's doing that. Is his name Goto? Am I thinking of 13
Gojo.
Seconds? Gojo.
Gojo.
No, it's not even Gojo. That's the blindfold guy.
Oh, no.
Nanami.
Okay.
Nanami's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
my record's 3 times, and then Itadori's doing like 6.
It's Toto.
Toto.
To-
No,
No,
that's
Toto's big, beautiful
what
ass.
is Toto's ability?
He claps.
Yeah!
He claps and then what?
He teleports.
Yes. So it's Hunter x Hunter abilities with none of the explanations so far, but it's the abilities are great.
So good.
We
What's
need
your
more
favorite
of this.
type of woman?
Big ass.
It's like a high
Tall,
C. It's like the highest C, right?
Yeah.
It might go up if
Yes.
we read
Next
more.
season it'll go to B.
Yeah.
Which leaves us with 3
That was Tyler. No, that was Bradley.
Let's get Pact and Pay out of the way, Bradley, because only me and you know that one.
oh, dude, it's the best one on here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Okay.
I would do anything. It's so the best one.
Yeah, I'm out of the. I'm not saying anything else. This is all I need to say. It is the best one here.
I don't know. Whenever I first, I started reading it like on a whim because I guess I had nothing else going on, and the reason I avoided it for so long is because people said it wasn't that great, and I started reading it, and I started telling Willer about it. I was like, Willer, I think you would actually really like this one, and I really liked it. I was amazed that this is a story that just exists and it's not the most celebrated thing in the world.
I know, and it's like, it's actually a good length. Which, by the way, Pale Arc 19 soon, Bradley.
Oh my god!
There's 3 certainties in life, and one of them is.
It's gonna be a bit of a shorter serial.
But that aside, do you want to briefly explain what it is?
Essentially, like, imagine everywhere, like, and I mean everywhere, there's always just a tiny little invisible audience of thousands of little invisible spirit thingy people, and they are your audience, and when you're doing magic, essentially what you're doing is trying to convince them to do what you want. And so, for example, stuff like, let's say there's a magic word like abracadabra that works. The reason that works is because maybe someone a very long time ago convinced spirits abracadabra works. Like, they convinced, like, hey, do this when I say abracadabra. But then other people also did that, and people have been copying it so long that spirits, it's just well established that that's what they associate with the words abracadabra. But that's the surface level. Here's what's cool about it. I think Pack's power system is like weaponized literature. It takes like themes and ideas that society has about things and makes them real. It makes tropes, story tropes, into real things. And the easiest example is, like, for example, there's like a saying, third time's the charm.
Yes.
In Pact, you are literally more likely to succeed at something on your first time. And it didn't become a saying because you're more likely to succeed at something on your third time. You are more likely to succeed at something on your third time because it is a saying. And
also,
that's how
like,
so much of Pact works.
The world is like, because there's this audience, setting precedence is a big thing. So like, if I say I'm a warlock, I need to really embody a warlock. So I can't say I'm a warlock and then do like something that someone who does puppet magic does. Like, that's not the character I'm in this world. That's not who I establish to the spirits that I am.
That's a good point. There's a big element of the story of like
Defining
establishing yourself and your identity and like the image you put out, and the spirits are a part of that.
So it's S, and y'all can't say nothing about it. Let's do
Nope.
Stormlight Archives.
Yo, fucking S.
No.
All the books go in
No.
S.
No.
Ooh, I mean, it is good.
It is good.
Why?
Surge binding, S tier. Stuff
That's the thing,
outside
it's
of
like-
surge binding, like god shit,
What do you mean? Oh, you
not
mean-
a fan.
Yeah, I'm not either. Are you talking about the very end of book 4?
Stuff in that realm. There's more than just that, but like that's the most blatant.
Yeah. Okay. So
And I
we're
know
specific-
someone more learned than me, like Ryan, would have a perfect explanation for this. But the problem is, some of it might come from other books. And I don't want
know.
that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like Brandon Sanderson created the Cosmere,
Yeah.
and I feel like those elements tie into the Cosmere, and I agree. I definitely don't like those as much as Surge Binding.
Surge binding's great. I love it, but it's gotten a little like the story says this happened, and it's like these are the mechanics that happen. I'm like, I guess this is not established to me prior. Sure, but also maybe I missed some shit, so I don't know. Where do y'all think it falls? Because we've all read some of Stormlight.
I really like surge binding, like you said. It's funny that you. Surge binding is funny to me because I didn't get introduced to that whole concept of oaths in Stormlight Archives, getting powers from that. That's from D&D. That's what a paladin's whole class is.
Interesting.
Like, you have an oath. If you do not stick to that oath, you lose all
Knowing
your powers.
who Brandon Sanderson is,
Yeah.
he literally got that from there.
or it could be like a cyclical thing. Like,
I don't
like
know.
you know, like a.
Brandon Sando is a big nerd. He loves
I'm not saying that's bad.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that like I look at this and like this, I literally played a class like this before. The
one thing about surge binding is like they're pretty limited in what you
Yeah.
can do as a surge binder. You're just slightly different in how you do light weaving than
Yeah.
how Shaolin is versus some of her other people.
But I think there's enough of a distinction. Like Helen can fly, Shalon can like change her look.
I mean, that's different classes, but
Yeah.
within a class, you.
Oh, I
only
see.
deviate so
Within
much.
like the subclass of the subclass, basically.
Yeah.
That's whatever. But
When there's like 40 windrunners in the 4th book, it's like. all of you are.
You
kind
wish there
of
was some like
only
distinction.
Kaladin fights differently than the rest of y'all, so it's like
I think to me, like my gut feeling is a B tier type system.
maybe a little low.
But
Bradley, do your part.
I think on the most surface level, Brandon Sanderson starts off. I mean, you have like the prologue chapter, which shows the battle and the 10 people doing their thing.
Yeah.
But then like the first proper chapter of the book is just like nonstop of Zeth showing off a power.
And he does a
is
lot
just-
with it.
And they do a good job of explaining like I can latch myself to things, I can bind other
The
things.
actual
to-
pros
No,
to
I'm
what
like,
power is
this,
happening is excellent.
it kind of sold me on the book. I read that first
Yeah.
chapter and I was like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah,
I
I
want to
agree.
see more. I want to see people fight with this.
Yeah.
Would we settle for an A?
I'm
Bradley?
fine.
Too high? Too low?
Yeah, I mean, it has the... I'm trying to think if it
Does
goes...
really the very ending of book 4 take it out of S?
I mean, they can't speak to that. I mean, I think Bradley's saying it's not S even without the ending of book 4.
No, I don't think it's S anyway.
Yeah.
But I know it's an A somewhere. I just don't know where. Maybe above Avatar.
Yeah, you know what? They're similar, they're natural, and also your bond with the Spren is cool.
I did like that.
Yeah.
The fact you draw power from the currency of the world is also super cool.
Yeah. I think it's a great system.
And finally, Hunter x Hunter. Tyler, why don't you kick us off with Hunter x Hunter?
Oh boy. Very complicated and very loose power system where they make an agreement with themselves.
Yeah.
And the stronger the ability is, the harsher the agreement has to be.
And you can add conditional constraints on top of that where it's like, I am at my full power if I'm fighting someone from this clan.
They do some nice programming for, like, this is basically like programming your power.
Now, I love Nen. If not for Pale being here, Nen's my favorite power system here. However,
Pale.
I know Bradley is not a fan of Nen, so...
Now, I've kind of had a back and forth with myself on, like, the parts I like and dislike about it. And I think what's cool is the fact that, like Tyler said, it's kind of like programming your own powers. And I kind of like that because...
To clarify on that real quick, you have a type that you're good at, and then you program within those parameters of, like, the ability that fits best for you. But, yeah, keep going.
It's cool because not only does it let, like, the creative characters catch up or even outshine characters with raw talent, I think it's also a way to ensure abilities are gonna kind of be reflective of the character's personality. Like that was a whole deal with Gon, right? It was like trying to find an ability that like worked for him, and they ended up with a really good one.
Yeah. Which
I
goes
think
on to
those
show
are-
that like the abilities show a lot about the character too, which is always a plus.
Yeah, and I think those are like the masterful qualities of it in this story. I think the only thing coming to mind that makes me sour is in the Chimera Ant arc. I think there was the Leopard Ant, and it's cool because like you decide on your ability and you're gonna stick to it, and that's gonna be your ability. But I don't know. He just decided to give himself a new ability in the middle of the fight, and I'm like, oh, if you could just change your ability in the middle of the fight, why aren't people just doing that all the time?
Yeah, and I guess it's like he was still forming it, so it was still in its early phases. But that is weird.
Yeah, I guess he was pretty new to using Nen, so maybe it wasn't like established.
Something else you don't like is that you can see Nen through the television.
That was fucking me up, man.
you were livid.
I was dying, but no, in reality, it is pretty good. I mean, I've talked it up. What are you guys thinking?
Tyler, where would you put it?
I definitely, I'm gonna say A is a baseline.
I would push for S. Bradley is more like a AB.
I could do like a bottom of S, actually.
Bottom of S is where I was thinking.
I know I like it more than Attack on Titan. I know I like it more than Naruto.
But you know, we got away with Pale as the best, so...
Like I keep saying pale.
I know I like it more
Why
than
did I
pretty
say
much
pale? I didn't
anything.
even
You said it
pale.
twice
I
now.
know, that's fucked up. It's because it never ends.
It's Willer's favorite.
No, it would never be. All right. Well, you know what?
This is pretty good.
I hope we also explained how a power system can add or detract to your story. You know, on a plus side to JoJo's, I did mention this. JoJo's dodges power scaling by having a power system where everyone's pretty equal and weird and it resets every part.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Isn't that enough for a
can see
low
that.
A? Come on.
I think it's fine. The big B.
Look at these fuckers. All right, thanks for joining
I like how
us.
we lined up all of our pictures except for Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, well, Shimon does his own thing. Bradley, thank you for your input. And
Hell yeah.
and
This was
like
fucking
again,
fun.
you're the one who made me interested in like actually looking. It's like, oh, how much does a power system really contribute?
Yo, this was super fun. This was a lot better than I thought.
And we haven't done this in a while, and I'm glad it didn't take 6 hours like Joe said. But it did,
I told Willer this was either going to take 45 minutes or it's going to take forever. I'm glad that I fell in between.
and it's going to take 1 minute, 1:59 and a half. Bye, everybody.
Bye.